Hi. How's it going? I'm Rob. This is Over 42. We're doing the thing. We're live. And there's nothing you can do about it. But how's it going with you guys? I gotta say, this week has been weird. Lots of things happening. Uh just things. Just a lot of things. And why does it feel like my mic is like in front of my face? Maybe I should do this. Hold on. Just hold on a second. Do that and then move it back. There we go. And then it's not so. Hey, I'm a Mike. Nice red shirt. This is a limited edition Game Dave shirt. Yeah, from his Family Corner series over on YouTube, which he doesn't do anymore apparently. But hi, yes, red shirt. You know, yeah, I think it's a cool shirt and it's a cool design. And even though I'm not like a huge retro guy, I just think the shirt's cool. So there you go. But look, we have Starfox coming in hot first, and then we have Ninjinzu, who apparently is at some kind of sexy tournament. I mean, he hasn't said exactly what he's doing, what he's turning. Don't know what he's competing. If he's competing, he may not even be competing. He may just be watching. We don't know. There are so many questions. Are there butts there? Is it sexy? We don't know. Hopefully he will let us know how the tournament went or is going. I don't know how long it is. But anyway, Brock, welcome. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Exactly. And Cosma, look, I can't fault you if you're going to watch Band of Brothers again because that show is amazing. That show is like seriously one of the best HBO series. Like, I mean, yeah, a lot of people will probably say, "Oh, well, The Sopranos." Well, yeah, but Band of Brothers, man, Band of Brothers is really good. So, I mean, it is Veterans Day after all. So, absolutely. And yeah, Cosma, Cryptic Mayhem, welcome Cryptic. I feel like it's been a while. It probably hasn't, but I know I saw you over on Game Day stream. So yeah, Derek, sup Rob? You going to be at Retropalooza? That remains to be seen. A lot of things have to happen for that to happen, but we'll see. I mean, I don't really know. I would like to go, but I don't know. I'll choose Band of Brothers over Sopranos any day, but that's me. Star Fox. I mean, I'm kind of look. I own both, so I'm one of those why not both kind of people because they're both good. They're both really really good. But the other thing too to keep in mind when you're like, okay, it's time to binge a series. What's it gonna be? You can go with Breaking Bad. You can go with Sopranos. You can go with Band of Brothers. The thing is, Band of Brothers, it's a lot less of a time commitment. You can get through the whole thing, you know, I mean, it's a full day, but you'll still get it, you get through it in one day. You're not getting through Sopranos in one day. In fact, well, you might get through the whole like a season a day. You'd have to be committed though. That's a lot of time to commit. So, I mean, that's the thing. I love Band of Brothers, but never saw the Pacific. Was it as good? You know what, Cryptic? I started watching the Pacific and it was fine. It didn't have the same draw as Band of Brothers did, but I never finished it. And it's one of those things. It's on HBO Max. I could just watch it whenever I want. I just haven't. So I don't know. I can't answer that question. If anybody has seen it, if anybody's seen it, let us know. Gamer Tamer 360 proposal for you. Get off stream and let's go watch Predator Badlands right now. Well, Gamer Tamer, that would be great, but I've already seen it. I saw it Wednesday, last Wednesday, on the fan screening thing, the early screening deal. But here's the thing. If I wasn't streaming and you called me up and you said, hey, let's go watch Predator Badlands, I might go again because that was an entertaining movie. The movie's just fun. So, you know, that's the thing though. I mean, I'm streaming, you know, gotta do the stream. You know, I have to be here for the people, you know? So, but thank you for the offer. We should do that though. It's fun. Derek said, I was going to go, and if you are there, I'll give you a copy of my book. Well, that sounds awesome. But it just depends. There's a lot of moving parts, of course. You may or may not know what I'm talking about, but there are moving parts. We'll see. We'll see what happens. There's still a month to go, so you never know, but we'll see. Cosma said the Pacific was a good sequel. You'll understand what grandpa and great uncles went through. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like, I can't see it being bad. I just, for whatever reason, I started watching it and then I never went back to it. I don't know why. I don't actually own that one. I own Band of Brothers, but I don't own the Pacific. And there were many times when, you know, like, you know, digital sales would happen and they'd be like, oh, here it is, the whole thing for like such and such dollars. And, you know, I almost did it, but I never went back to it. So I don't know. Generation Kill, Elway 2K. Generation Kill on HBO was good too. I never saw that one. In fact, I don't even know what that is. What is that? Oops. Nope, we're not ending the stream yet. Okay. There's Alexander Skarsgård. He's the only one that jumps out as somebody I know. But that's not always, you know. Kellen Lutz. His name sounds familiar, but he doesn't look familiar. I don't know. But hey, interesting. 7-part series. Highly trained young Marines of the 1st Reconnaissance Battalion struggle with inadequate supplies, bureaucratic snafus, and poor communication as they lead the drive into Baghdad during the first weeks of the war in Iraq. In a 7-part miniseries based on the best-selling nonfiction book by embedded Rolling Stone correspondent Evan Wright. 7 episodes came out in 2008. I didn't know that. So there you go. Check that out. I mean, Elway says it's good. So, don't know who Billy Lush is? No, I don't. A good day to you, Robbie. And good day to you, chat gang. I'll be right with you after I just take a moment or two to smash that like. Hey, Bucho, thank you. I appreciate that. Amazing XP. Hey, good to see you. I think you said it. You said it yourself. First time you're commenting on the stream. What do you think of Spielberg's catalog in the past 20 years? I think he's one of the greats, but I've been disappointed by his recent films. You're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong. But the weird thing is even his bad films are better than most. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying though. I wish he would go back to, you know, the kind of filmmaking that really made him famous, you know? But it sounds like we may be getting that because his next film is the movie about the UFO/UAP phenomenon. Don't know what kind of movie it is, but that's one of those things that it sounds interesting. I mean, he's obviously kind of invested in that topic. You know, he did Close Encounters of the Third Kind, of course, and there were basically UFO researchers of the day in that movie and that consulted for that movie. And many people kind of look at Close Encounters as sort of like an attempt to do sort of a soft disclosure and kind of get people used to the idea that we may not be alone. So it's interesting that he's going back to that topic. Now, is it going to be any good? I don't know. But I will say there are absolutely moments of brilliance in all of his films. You know, like The Fabelmans is one of those where it didn't scratch that itch for a lot of people, you know what I mean? But man,
Hey Rob, glad to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Johnny Flip Switch, thank you for that super chat, $2 super chat. I'm sorry that the alerts don't work, but I'm on Mac. And for whatever reason, Streamlabs, they updated their software and now their stuff is broken on Mac and don't have any idea when they're going to fix it. But thank you so much for that. There's usually a thing up here, you know, doing cool things, you know, while it reads out the chat or your message. But thank you so much. And yeah, I'm doing okay. Look, here's the thing. I want to go super into this. We've talked a lot about Billy on this channel, but there's still moments of grief, and there's still times when it hits me again. So it's just one of those things. Last night, strangely enough, was a weird one. I just couldn't sleep, you know, and the thing is I'm still getting like really positive messages from fans of the Game Chasers, people who, as far as I know, never reached out to me before. And it's still very moving to have, I guess, a reminder of the reach that he had and the lives that he touched. You know what I mean? So other than that, though, I mean, honestly, I'm trying to keep busy. Unfortunately, that means I haven't gone to see a lot of movies. Like last week, we got to see Predator Badlands, you know, early, and I did the review that night on Wednesday night, which I didn't 100% know if I was going to, because I was like, if I don't like this movie, I'm just not going to do a review, you know, because, and it's not for any other reason, but because I just didn't have the energy to dog on a movie, you know what I mean? But luckily it was really good. Like I really enjoyed it. So it was easier to do the review, but it's a thing, man. It's a process. It takes time. Especially, you know, seeing things around the room that remind me of, you know, what we were doing. Billy's wife, actually, the other day, this is one of those things where it's like, it's mine. So, you know what I mean? It's like, of course, yeah, I should probably have it, but it's my binder from the movie. It's my copy of the script that I had marked up. I'll show you. Hold on, I'll show you. So this is it. This is my copy of the script that I used as script supervisor. Still got my pen in there. But yeah, it's basically a breakdown of the whole movie by scene. There's, I don't even remember what some of the like circles, but you see here, you're supposed to color code your script as a script supervisor. Didn't really help me, honestly. Didn't really help me. But I have each individual setup, each individual scene here, so I can go, this is scene 48. And it's the Jar's house scene. And then goes to scene 49. Sometimes it was almost like setups. But she gave this back to me. In a typical movie situation, what you do is you type up your notes from each day. So, give me a second. I'll show you. So here's all my notes. And this is for so this has scenes, takes, the time, because I'm actually timing the take. And then basically any notes. So if, for example, on a typical movie, you might be in the middle of a take. Like say, like here, we got take 4 of this scene. Scene 26F, which means a separate setup, right? So, in other words, there might be one scene where you've got a conversation between two people. You've got typically your first one is your master shot with everything, and then you get close-ups on each person. Maybe there's a medium shot, maybe there's the shot where the camera's kind of behind a person, whatever. And sometimes there might be like, depending on the take, they might be like, the director might say, I really like that one. So I would make a note on here, like, director liked the shot or liked that take. So that's typically what a script supervisor does, other than continuity and all the other stuff that a script supervisor does. But here's the thing. I knew about 2 weeks in, after doing all of these notes, meticulous notes, timing of each shot and of each take, all that kind of stuff, I realized this is pointless. Because the reason that you do that is you've got your director who knows what he wants, but then you're handing all this over to an editor. And so the editor can look at these notes and say, oh, the director really liked take 3, so let's see if take 3 works, right? They wouldn't look at take 1 and 2, they'd look for take 3. And the only reason they would look at other takes is if something happened in the middle of the take, maybe, they rubbed on a microphone or whatever. There could be so many things that might lead somebody to go, okay, we can't use take 3, But I knew that in this case, Billy was going to watch each and every take, and he was going to choose the absolute best one, no matter what he thought on the day. So it was kind of pointless to do this. And I said, look, I typed this up. I emailed it to you. These are all my notes. And here's my copy of the script with all the notes that I made on the script and all that kind of stuff. Here, you probably won't use it because you're probably going to watch each and every take. But here. And he's like, yeah, I probably won't use it. But thank you. So he kept it. Well, now it's mine again. So it's like stuff like that where you're just like, you're kind of reminded of everything. And, it's just part of the process. And we're all trying to figure out how we can move on. But, so there you go. That's probably a lot more than what you asked. But, there you go. The Pacific is like Band of Brothers if you dial the brotherly sentiment down quite a bit and dial the brutality of the battles up quite a bit. Bucho, thank you. I didn't know that. Shozama said, since Veterans Day has its origins in Armistice Day, end of World War I, we'll probably watch something World War I related. The armistice between the Allies and Germany went into effect on November 11th, 1918 at 11 a.m. Well, thank you, Shozama. I didn't actually know that. Well, I definitely couldn't have just said that, but thank you. Bucho hates the moist jungle. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds slightly dirty. I'm just going to say it. It sounds slightly dirty. But The Pacific is on sale right now for $19.99 on Fandango. I might have to pick it up. I don't have HBO Max. Yeah, that's a great way to do it. And that's the weird thing too. I don't know if you guys use Movies Anywhere. I know that there's a lot of people that are like physical media only, and I get that. I totally get that. But man, you miss out on some really good deals if you don't take advantage of some of those digital sales, especially for movies that you're like, yeah, that was good. I kind of want to see it again, but I don't really need to own the disc. I don't want to spend $30 for the 4K of it. You know what I mean? So in a situation like that, it's really cool with Movies Anywhere because no matter where you buy it, it will link up to the other I guess storefronts that you have. So you might buy something on iTunes, you might buy something on Amazon, you might buy something on Fandango, and if the movie is Movies Anywhere, you can access that on any of them. And I don't know if you heard, but Google and Disney, because Movies Anywhere is owned by Disney, Google, because of their problems, their I guess what is it, contracts on showing Disney stuff and all that kind of stuff, money, Google pulled out of Movies Anywhere. So if you bought a movie on Google Play, it's not linked to Movies Anywhere. movies anywhere anymore, which is really weird and kind of a bummer that, the customer gets screwed because two companies can't agree. But that's how it works. Now, here's the reason I bring this up. You can buy the Pacific on Fandango, but you have to watch it on Fandango. TV series don't have that sort of sharing thing, which is kind of a bummer. The only thing that I have purchased on Fandango is Breaking Bad. So if I want to watch my copy of Breaking Bad, I have to go to Fandango to watch it, which is kind of a bummer. But anyway, there you go. Little bit of knowledge. Hey. Just got off work, so it's all good. Johnny, again, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I will say this. Just the fact that you guys are here is awesome to me. That anybody wants to come and hang out here is just cool. So don't ever feel like you have to do anything but sit here and watch. And I turn off the ads because I hate ads in the middle of a live stream, especially one where people are talking. So I turn off the ads. I'm just happy that you guys are here. That's it. But I'm never going to say no if you want to, if that makes sense. But don't feel like you have to. Okay? I read everything. I try to read everything anyway. Sometimes, like that one night when it got really nuts in here, it was like 60 people in here talking, and it was like, I can't keep up. I gotta move on, or we're never gonna finish the show. But anyway, Armistice Day, the beginning of World War II. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Cosmo was replying to Shozama. I'm not sure if you saw it. I watched Generation Kill also back in 22 after finishing Band of Brothers and Pacific, another top-notch series. David Simon is one of the GOAT TV creators for sure. Well, there you go. Another person saying that Generation Kill is worth watching. It's weird because there's enough of a disconnect between World War I and World War II and all that, like basically World War II in the case of Band of Brothers and Pacific. For some reason, it's easier for me to get into those. When you get into something that's a little more modern, it hits home somehow a little harder, and sometimes those are harder for me to watch and harder for me to get into. But if it's good, yeah. I feel for you, Rob. Take your time, buddy. Derek, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Seriously. I'm playing RuneScape almost 15 years, and I still play this dang game. Well, there are games like that are just good. There's still people that play, that game. Which Elder Scrolls is it? Skyrim. There's people that still play Skyrim. There's people that still play Grand Theft Auto 5. And now you have to wait longer for 6. I'm sorry. I honestly don't. I'm not a Grand Theft Auto guy. I never really got into it. The only time that I tried playing it, I was kind of like, I get it. It's kind of cool, but I like being a good guy. I don't like being a bad guy. There's enough bad guys in the world. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I just didn't gel with me. It's weird. Like, I'll watch a movie about a villain, sure. But playing as a villain or as a guy that's, I don't know. It's just, is that weird? It's probably weird, but that's just me. Did someone get a haircut? No. In fact, I need a haircut pretty badly. This is getting pretty long. I'm probably going to chop it off here in the next couple of days. So yeah. Okay. My chat just freaked out. So, also today is Singles Day, or Double 11 is an unofficial Chinese holiday for people who are not in a relationship, a shopping holiday where people buy stuff for themselves. Oh. Is that why there were so many? I got emails this morning from some of the Chinese companies that I purchased things from. Maybe that's why. I didn't realize that. If my book does well, I had a plan to help out. Derek, good luck, man. Your thumbnail, I need to be stopped. I do. I buy too many movies. And we'll get into it. We'll get into this crazy stack here in a few minutes. Did you make any notes if anyone was particularly handsome that day? Leon? No, but let me see if I can find it real quick. I didn't think about it until you said that. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. Hold on, hold on. It was toward the end, I think. Ah, here it is. This is scene 69, take 43. I don't know why 43. But Dave got a hold of my notes. And on the bottom, he says, more penis. I mean, that's it. But I remember seeing that and going, Dave, you scallywag. Oh, and by the way, here are my, I don't know what day. Dang it, I can't. There we go. Here are my sides for day 4 of the Game Chasers. Yeah. It shows this was all the nerd building. But it's got the cast, and it's got like a little copy of the script of that day, the script for that day. There you go. Yeah. 7 a.m. call at the nerd building in at the old the what is it, the Baptist camp or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, interesting. You know what? I'll probably carry out with the plan regardless with my book to help out. I can talk to you on the side about it. Derek, my email is open. DMs, whatever, man. Reach out. Let's talk. Let's chat. Bucho said, I like a nice moist jungle once in a while, but the Pacific does an amazing job of making that campaign seem like the most miserable theater of war in the modern age. Ah. And then Cosmo said, Bucho hates sand. It's coarse, rough, and irritating, gets everywhere. Yes, it does. If they let you into the Criterion Closet, what 5 movies would you get, Johnny? See, that's the thing. Good question, Johnny. Because here's the thing. I picked up some Criterion this week. But it's really kind of weird because, you know, some people, what they want to do is that they want to talk about a movie that they don't own, a movie that they've seen and they enjoy, right? The thing is, I own a lot of Criterion. So for me, right now, what I would be getting is, especially if it was like, hey, you can just take this, I'd be getting some of the high dollar stuff. I'd be getting the Fellini set. I'd be getting the Wong Kar-wai set. I'd be getting possibly that Godzilla set that came out a couple of years back. The one that's kind of like, it's like a supersized, it's almost like a coffee table book, but the discs are inside. I don't know. It's a good question though. I mean, the thing is though, like me, the reason that I buy some of these Criterion is because I haven't seen them. So I have no idea if they're any good in a lot of cases. I've heard it's like a movie that I've heard about multiple times. It's really tough. But I've actually thought about doing an updated, hey, if you're new to Criterion, these are some of the movies you should look at getting, you know? But man, there's so many of those that it's kind of like, what do I have to offer that those, you know, there's so many great videos of different Criterion selections that you can pick up. And do you go for something that's brand new, you know, like a 4K, or do you go for something, you know, sort of a classic, you know, like a classic Criterion title, you know? It's tough. Like, I mean, I showed it off last week. If I hadn't bought it, I would have picked this off the shelf for sure. Because this is an amazing set. And you can tell that since it's sitting in here, I haven't started watching it yet. Because I'm still in the middle of Miami Vice season 1. So anyway, I haven't watched anything of note this week. It's just been all, when I'm home, I'm either just completely vegging out and just watching like Twitch or YouTube, or I'm watching Miami Vice. So yeah, but great question. And we'll go into some of the movies that I myself purchased here in a bit. My old boss did the effects for both Band of Brothers and The Pacific before my time, but I like Band of Brothers, didn't like The Pacific that much. There you go. There's Leon's take on it. And that's the crazy thing, is that we've got a guy here that has worked on some insane movies, like great movies. And then he came and worked on the best movie of the last 50 years, Adventures in Game Chasing. Now available on Tubi, iTunes or Apple, and Amazon. Anyway. Look, I'm proud of the movie. I know that it's, and here's the thing. There's going to be people that are like, the movie's not great. And I understand that. I get it. It's not a perfect movie by any stretch, right? But I think it's got a lot of heart. And the fact that I got to help Billy make his movie, it's very important to me. And I'm very proud of it. And so there you go. But yes, it's amazing. Like, I just think it's so cool. Like, Leon will just, every now and then, would just drop like, oh yeah, when this happened. And I'm like, and I make that face. And then he's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm sorry. That's just a shock to hear that you're just so flippant about, oh, I met this person. Yeah, it was cool. They were nice. I'm like, what? Anyway. But the thing is, and that's the thing that, look, it's taken me years, well, months, probably years to really understand, is that the people that work on the movie, they've already been paid, and it doesn't matter how good the movie ends up being, like how good the story is or how good the acting is. That's not their job. Their job is this thing right here. Their job is to put, a layer of smoke in the background to give it depth and to give it, like texture, right? That's their job. And their job is to make that look as good as possible. Or it's the fire effect or the rain effect or whatever, right? That's what Leon does. And so if the movie ends up being, doesn't end up working, it's like, man, the third act really fell apart. That has nothing to do with him and the job that he did. He did a fantastic job. And it took me so long to understand that. Like, I remember when, I remember asking Yoshi if it bothered him, like the reviews of Rise of Skywalker when it came out, like if it bothered him. And he's like, no, I did my job. I did my job and I did it well. That's completely out of my hands, And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. So it's very strange. It's a really cool thing that Leon loves to hang out and do this stuff, but he's a guy who's there to do a job, and that job has nothing to do with how good the movie is going to end up being. It's really about the technical side of it and making it look good. And that's awesome. Sorry, Leon, if I talked about you too much. I know, you're very humble, but it's still cool. Gets all in amongst my midi-chlorians. Yeah, the sand, man. Get that sand out of here. Get it out of here. Real Proto Mike, welcome. Good to see you. Getting into the new Netflix Frankenstein tonight. Hey, here's the thing. I've said this. I think I said it last week. I wanted to go see it in the theater because, I always prefer to see things in the theater if I can. The problem is, the only theaters, because they, I guess it's because it's a Netflix movie, and a lot of theaters didn't want to, like a lot of the bigger chains didn't want to carry the movie. So it was in a lot of those dine-in theaters, and I can't stand those. I can't abide them. So I haven't been able to see it yet. Now the thing about Del Toro is he is an amazing crafter of like the feel of the movie, the look of the movie. He's big into practical effects, all those things, right? I love that about him. But a lot of his movies just don't connect with me. The story doesn't work for me. And there's kind of a like, even like my favorite Del Toro movie is probably Hellboy. I love that first Hellboy movie, but it's also got that issue where it doesn't quite 100% connect for me. But I still really enjoy that movie. That's just it. I mean, I know a lot of people like Pacific Rim. Same thing. Looked amazing, but I couldn't connect with the story. Hellboy 2, I didn't really care for it. Same reason. There's a lot of his movies are just like that for me. And there was some that I just haven't seen. Like I never saw The Shape of Water. I didn't see Pinocchio. So, but I still want to see Frankenstein because, it's a classic story and I'd like to see his take on it. Photos in the house. How can I send something to you? How so? Like a picture or something like that? Because I don't technically right now, if you're talking about something like you want to email, then yeah, you could order 42show gmail.com, right? But I don't have a PO box or anything like that, and I don't give out my mailing address. So at this time, I can't do that. But I appreciate it, but thank you. But thank you. As of now, there is no. What is your number one film that doesn't have a 4K Blu-ray that you want to see get a release? Ryan, I don't think I've seen you here before, Ryan. I will tell you. And it's not going to be what you expect. Probably. Maybe. Depends. Depends on how long you've actually been watching. I would say the number one movie that I would like to see get a 4K release is the movie from 2008, I believe. Speed Racer. That movie is a visual treat. And to get that in 4K would be amazing. For some reason, Warner Brothers has not released it in 4K, and it's I don't understand why. I don't get it. I love this movie so much. The second movie would be Strange Days from 1995. I've talked about this movie many times. It's a movie that was the original treatment was written by James Cameron and directed by his then wife, Catherine Bigelow, who also did Point Break and Zero Dark 30, right? I love Catherine Bigelow. And that movie is fantastic. Now, I get it. 20th Century Fox changed to 20th Century Studios and was absorbed by Disney. Disney may not want to put a movie out like Strange Days because it's got a lot of very violent, very things that are sexual in nature. I get it. I understand. And it's talks about, racial problems and things like that, racial issues. I understand why it's kind of maybe we don't want to put this movie out. But I love that movie. Please, Disney, give Strange Days to Arrow. Let Arrow do a crazy edition, or better yet, Second Sight. Dude, if Strange Days got a big freaking crazy set from Second Sight, I would literally crap in all of your pants. Literally. I wouldn't do that. But what I'm trying to say is I would be really excited. Second Sight and Arrow they're great. They're great. Criterion is really great too. But as far as like big, lavish editions, Arrow and Second Sight are two of my favorites. So I would love that. But Speed Racer, the reason I picked Speed Racer first is because it's more of a visual media, it's a more of a visual story that I think would really benefit from a 4K transfer. Of course, Strange Days would as well. It's very visual as well with all the cyberpunkness of it. And you've got great performances by Ray Fiennes and Angela Bassett and Tom Sizemore and Michael Wincott and Juliette Lewis. But I understand it's not going to be as visually stunning as a great 4K transfer of Speed Racer would be. But also, I can also understand why Speed Racer, hey, it didn't do well at the box office and a lot of people don't like it. So maybe it won't sell as well on 4K. Well, I'll buy 2. If you'll release it, I'll buy 2. Okay, maybe not, but please, I've bought it multiple times. I've got a digital version of it. I've got the DVD of it. Give me a 4K, please. But thank you. It's a great question. Mike said, finally picked up Pale Flower and Le Cercle Rouge in the Criterion sale. Hey, that's good. That's good. I don't know either of those movies. And that's to me is the best thing about Criterion is that you can literally pick all of these movies off the shelf and you go, I've never seen any of these, but there's going to be a reason why it's in the Criterion collection. There's something about it, whether it's social commentary, it's the way that it was done technically, it broke new ground in genre. There's a reason why it's in the Criterion collection. And that's what's beautiful about it. So even though don't even know, like I've heard of Le Cercle Rouge, but Pale Flower, not sure what that is. And you know what? It's probably awesome in its own way. There are movies definitely that I've purchased from the Criterion collection that I go, probably didn't need to buy that. But I know why it's there and I get why it's there and I appreciate it, But it's like, maybe I could have, spent that 20 or 25 bucks on a different movie. You know what I mean? But anyway. Cosma, I'm not sure if Game Dave likes that, but I'm pretty sure he wanted more of it just at that time because he wrote it down. When the hell did we have time to do 43 takes? Was I not there that day? It was a fake. He just wrote stuff because he's Game Dave. And he knew that it would stick out, and it did. When Winona Ryder pulled out Ghost Dog from the Criterion closet, I knew I was like, I knew I liked her. Real Proto Mike? Hell yeah. Ghost Dog is a really good movie, and I just recently saw it like in the last couple of years. Really good movie, and that's one where I probably need to pick that one up at a certain point too. I mean, just a great movie. A key difference for me is that Band of Brothers is essentially a story of camaraderie, whereas The Pacific seems almost to make a point to heavily downplay the camaraderie. Okay, maybe that's why it didn't connect with me as much, Bucho. You get a lot less of the feels. Good old OG Sega Steve. What's going on, sir? Is Moist Jungle a euphemism for... I mean, it's possible. It could be. In fact, I think it was meant to be. But hey. Criterion makes the best stuff. You can tell how much they love movies. They also give you amazing products. I mean, yeah, if you're a fan of the movie, it's fairly comprehensive. Now, I will say that I'm really glad that when Seven Samurai went to 4K, I'm glad that I bought the BMI release from the UK. So I have all of the special features that were carried over from the Blu-ray to the 4K for Criterion. I have all those special features, but then I also get the better transfer that BFI did with HDR, and also I get their special features. So it's kind of cool. I have both. I have the BFI 4K of Seven Samurai and the Blu-ray Seven Samurai from Criterion. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, and it just happened to be that way. But Seven Samurai is one of my favorite movies ever. I got to see it in the theater, and it was amazing. So, but yeah, they do a great job. And sometimes they don't. Like that release of Thief. The Criterion release wasn't quite as comprehensive as the Arrow release that came out later. So you never know, but there you go. There you go. I've heard that the Criterion Channel is one of the better streaming services. I'll have to check it out. Absolutely. It's one that I've never checked out, but it's kind of amazing. And I'll tell you this, one of the things that it doesn't really get talked about a whole lot, but a lot of the movies that are in the Criterion Collection are also on HBO Max. If you go into I think they just call them classics. I think there is a section where a lot of, for example, a lot of the Kurosawa movies are in there. A lot of the Fellini movies are in there. The Truffaut movies are in there. There's just a lot of really, really great movies from the Criterion Collection on HBO Max. And it's one of those things where it's part of the reason why I love HBO Max so much is because what I like to do is when I'm making my list for the, for the sales and stuff, I'll go through and I'll watch some of the movies that I'm like, I want to see this, but I don't know if it's worth buying. I'll watch it and then go, okay, yeah, I need to buy that. Or I'm glad I watched it, but I'm good. Like, for example, The Red Shoes. The Red Shoes is a great movie, and I will never say it's not, but it's not the kind of movie that I need to own. Now, the only difference is I know that there are probably some great special features on The Red Shoes, on the making of it, that I would really get a lot out of. But for the moment, I'm good with not owning The Red Shoes, but I got to watch it on HBO Max, and that's just one example. So it is the movie I mention the most when people ask for my IMDb credits. Well, I mean, it was quite an experience, wasn't it? I have Adventures in Game Chasing on Blu-ray and Vimeo, but I end up watching it mostly on Tubi for some reason. Well, I mean, Tubi's it's just damn convenient, is it not? I mean, other than the fact that, there's ads. But Cryptic, if you're still here, because I'm kind of behind, I'm sorry. But Cryptic, if you're still here, when you watch a movie, like if you watch Adventures in Game Chasing on there, like typically how many ads do you have to watch? I'm just curious because I have watched a couple of movies and there's been like 2, maybe 3, but I'm wondering with Adventures, the reason I ask is because of, and this is something that I wasn't involved in, but when Billy made the deal for digital distribution, I'm wondering if Tubi treats that movie differently than others. Like, are there less ads, more ads? I'm just curious because I haven't watched it on there, but I'd be curious to know if you don't mind me asking. Bummer about Disney and Google not getting along, affecting my newer purchases, and hope they figure something out. Shozama, you're not wrong. Now, the thing is I'm not a Google guy, or I shouldn't say that. I have Gmail and a lot of Google stuff. But I'm not an Android guy, so it doesn't affect me as much. And since I was already in the Apple ecosystem, I just kept buying stuff for the Apple ecosystem, and it's really nice to be able to just, I want to watch the Beastmaster. I don't own the Beastmaster, but if I did, I could just pull it up right now and watch it through the Apple TV app right there. Bam, psh, done. And that's one of the cooler things about having or being in an ecosystem is to be able to do that. Anyone else old enough to remember Tour of Duty, the Vietnam TV show from back in ye old times? I remember the guy. I remember the guy, but I never watched the show, but I remember the show. No, I'm not saying, no, Leon, I wasn't saying that, you're a dick. I'm just saying I don't mention things to be like, oh, look at me kind of thing. Exactly. And it's just, the thing is you're more of it's almost like you're a tradesman and you go in there to do a specific job and that's it. And you're cool with that. And you've worked on some amazing films, but you don't, it's not what drives you, which is, it's just, you're different your attitude's different about it. And I had to learn that because for a while there, it was like, I was putting you on this huge pedestal and you were like, hey, I'm just a dude, So it just took me a while to get used to that. So Adventures is amazing because it was made by a group of friends and it shows how much you guys love Billy that you all came together to help him get it made. Johnny, you're not wrong. And there were very few of us that got paid. I mean, of course, the crew got paid, and if we got actors outside of the group, they got paid. But I'm pretty sure nobody else got paid, and it's just because we all were just put the money into this. I remember I don't remember exactly when, but we were running out of digital space on this hard drive, and we had to buy new hard drives. And Chief and Eric were just like, no, don't worry about us. Do the thing. Let's get this going. And so that's what they did. They went and purchased new hard drives. I mean, I just think that's cool. So Media Mail Postal. Yeah, photos. I don't have a PO box. I'm not big enough to warrant the purchase, you know? And not many people want to send me things. So, but I appreciate it very much. It's very nice of you. I mean, Disney also owns Deadpool and Always Sunny, so you never know. Beat 'em ups, you're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong. But Strange Days is a rough movie. Yeah, it's just a rough movie. So, but hi, good to see you. That annoys the crap out of me. So many great releases through 20th Century Fox, but barely anything on Disney Plus. Leon, you're not wrong. Absolutely not wrong. And it's one of those things that it's almost like I don't understand why you wouldn't want to put your whole catalog or as much of your catalog as possible out on there. And maybe it's because they have to, basically have to almost, I guess they have to pay residuals. Just because they own the movie doesn't mean that they don't have to pay residuals, right? So if you put Predator on there, for example, and Predator gets a million views, they have to pay everybody that gets residuals from Predator that much money. Maybe that's it. I don't know why they don't do it. HBO Max has always been really good about, hey, if it's a Warner Brothers title, man, it's going on here. Now, of course, they got rid of a bunch of cartoons, but you must be Gen X. Pretty sure Tour of Duty was late 80s. I've never rewatched it. Sometimes wonder how it'd hold up today. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of movies. I mean, Miami Vice, I'm watching it, right? Mid 80s, 1984. I mean, I'm seeing a young Bruce Willis. I've seen a young Jimmy Smits. I saw a young Ed O'Neill. There was who else? There was somebody pretty famous in like the last. I mean, of course, Edward James Olmos is in the show. But I mean, it's really interesting watching it from that point of view. Like, oh, isn't that interesting? Look how young they are, all that kind of stuff. But the show's really good. And I hear that around season 4, things go crazy and they don't really recover. So I might end up watching all the way through season 3 and then just moving on. But I'm kind of curious because apparently there's a Miami Vice UFO episode with James Brown. So I don't know. I may need to watch that, Jeremy Clark. Hello. I can't remember if I've seen you in here before, but hey, welcome anyway. You have a favorite of the George Romero zombie films? I got to be honest, Jeremy, I haven't seen a whole lot of them. I have seen a couple. I think of course, Night of the Living Dead. I don't know if I've seen Dawn of the Dead or not. Honestly, they're not my thing. They're just not typically my thing. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't like the occasional zombie film I got into Walking Dead for a while. But I've just, it's not for me. And especially the older ones, where the effects are a little more janky, a little more homemade. It doesn't work as well, and it takes me out of the movie, and I don't end up enjoying it as much. But typically, horror is just not my thing, and it's not for any other reason but because I feel like horror is about a lot of horror seems to be about shock value and less about telling a full, complete story. Now, of course, there are horror movies that are amazing stories. You know, I'm not going to paint the entire genre with that brush, but a lot of it seems to be that way. And there's a reason, because horror films are typically where young filmmakers get their, you know, that's usually the cheapest way that they can make their first film. But it's just not my thing typically. But if one intrigues me, I'll watch it. Like, I've seen Hereditary, I've seen Midsummer, I've seen Weapons, I've seen Barbarian, I've seen, you know, there's a lot of recent horror films that I have. Longlegs, watch that. I've seen a lot of recent horror films, but it's just like Terrifier. No, sorry, not for me. Not for me. Especially when it's really about the shock value of it, and it's just not for me. But anyway, a lot of 80s TV really doesn't hold up at all. I mean, you're right. But I've been really impressed with Miami Vice so far. Like, really impressed. I mean, there is a lot of 80s cheese in it for sure, but the actual storytelling is like really good, which is cool. I'm scared to find out Tour of Duty was actually bad. I mean, that's, you know, that's a thing. Speed Racer is one of the first Blu-rays I ever bought. I still haven't watched it though. Look, I understand. Not everybody's going to watch that film and have it speak to them like it spoke to me. But for me, it was immediate. I connected with him, and I'm talking about the character of Speed Racer, immediately. And I was just along for the ride, and there was something really endearing about the way that everybody was saying some of the most ridiculous lines, but they were playing it completely straight. You know, you got John Goodman and Susan Sarandon and Christina Ricci and Emile Hirsch, Matthew Fox. And it doesn't hurt that I kind of have, I mean, I like Matthew Fox a lot. So yeah, him being Racer X is kind of cool. But I just love the movie, and it's just, it's goofy. It is, but there's a childlike quality to it that really, I just love. So I'd say give it a shot. You may hate it. I'm just going to say right now, there's a lot of people that do not like that movie, and they go, that movie is trash. But then there's people like me who I look at that and I go, that is beautiful. And I've seen it probably at least 20 times. That's a lot for me. For a guy who likes to watch different movies and doesn't like to watch the same movie over and over, for me to say that I've seen it 20 times, that's a lot. So it's one of my favorites. It's seriously one of my favorites. So saving it for a rainy day. I guess I don't manage my time very well. Oh my God, Cryptic, you are not wrong. There are times when I'm like, man, I really should get to doing this, and then I don't. And I end up watching, like, okay, you know that there's a new game out on PC, and it's kind of like Escape from Tarkov. Some people are probably like, I don't know what you're talking about, because you don't play PC games. I don't play PC games either, but I watch people play PC games. Why? I don't know, but I do. I love Escape from Tarkov. I wish I could play it, but I know I'd be terrible at it if I had a PC. I have a PC from 2017. It wouldn't run Tarkov. It just wouldn't. But this new game is called Arc Raiders. And Arc Raiders it's a lot like Escape from Tarkov, where, you know, you go in, you do a raid, and you're looting. There's environmental things that are attacking you, but there's also other people that are trying to, you know, to get your stuff. And it's just, there's something about it. The gameplay loop is one of collecting, and you're basically trying to get stuff so you can build up your base, and it's a lot. Okay. But I love this game. So I've been watching a lot of it. I'll probably never play it. It's one of those, I'll never play it, but I love to watch it. It's something that especially when things are heavy, you know, and I need a break, and I need to just turn off my brain and just watch something, I can watch Arc Raiders for hours, and Escape from Tarkov and PUBG. It's just, I love watching people play those games. I don't know what to tell you. It's just a thing. So yes, I get the whole I don't manage my time very well. But my wife makes fun of me because I'll buy a movie that's meh just to see the bonus material and listen to the commentary track. Oh my God, Johnny. Do you know how many times I've done that? Perfect example. It'd be interesting now because I've kind of come around on David Lynch. But I really don't like the 1984 Dune film. I never liked it. I've watched it probably 5 or 6 times. But for some reason, it intrigues me. But I don't like it. I bought the limited edition Arrow set that was on sale with the steel book and all the books and all the things. I don't like the movie, but I bought it. I also bought the movie Drive. Ryan Gosling. Here's the thing. I get why people love that movie because it is cool. I don't think the movie 100% works, but I spent $60 on the second sight release just because I thought it was cool and I wanted to see the special features. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I do that. It's crazy, and I love commentaries. I don't like it when directors just narrate what's going on. Oh, this is when, Tom Hanks comes into the scene. Yeah, I can see that. I'm watching it. You don't have to narrate for me. I like it when people go in depth about, hey, this day was really, really tough because of this and that. I love hearing stories about filmmaking. It's great. So, what's your favorite movie that's different on the second watch, like Fight Club, The Game, The Man from Earth, etc.? Jeremy, you got some banger questions coming in. Good question. Man, that is a great, great question. It could be Usual Suspects. That movie really was great on the second watch. For obvious reasons. I'll tell you what, this is not exactly what you're looking for. You're almost thinking about like movies with a twist where, once you know the twist, does the movie still work? And if the movie still works, then man, that's a really well-made movie because it, but like the movie that I turned almost like 180 degrees was Dark Knight Rises. I walked out of that film opening night angry. And I did not like it. I did not enjoy myself, and I was literally mad. And it was because I hated the fact that Alfred quit. That Alfred shouldn't quit. Alfred never quits. And what happened was I ended up seeing an interview where I think it was with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And he was talking about how Christopher Nolan wasn't trying to fit his Batman into the mythos. He was literally taking the Batman mythos and putting it in the real world. And so he could have his own take on the Batman mythos. And I went, okay. So I went and watched it again. And with that in mind, I walked out and loved it. So I watched that movie twice in the first 3 days and had completely different experiences both times. So that was one of my favorite turnarounds. You know what I mean? I will also say that almost every Star Wars movie, the first time I see it, I don't like it. Or there's something where I'm like, man, I'm not sure. It takes me a lot of time to warm up to a movie. When it's Star Wars. Because I know Star Wars so well that it's really kind of ridiculous and kind of scary how much I know about Star Wars. And so when I see something that goes against my own wishes, I have to say, okay, I've seen the movie now. Now I have to dump all of my knowledge about this subject that the movie's about and let the movie work on its own terms. And when I do that, the movie works better, typically, the second time. But Rise of Skywalker didn't. Just saying. We watched the whole movie on Tubi at Billy's a couple of weeks ago, and I actually don't remember there being any ads after the first ones. Oh. Thank you. Thank you, Wood. That's interesting. Because I remember I remember watching something on Tubi and it had multiple ad breaks in the movie. That's just really interesting to me because that means that, okay, for example, it's actually something that Billy got irritated at YouTube about because YouTube, when you're uploading a video, it will automatically place ad breaks in there for you. And it tries to do it at specific, breaks in the action or a cut or something like that. And it put in like 3 times the ad breaks that Billy was going to put in the episode himself. And so it was like, okay, wow. So it just makes me wonder if there are certain tiers that, a movie that only gets, and maybe it's view based. If the movie only gets, there's probably some algorithm that says, oh, if we put an ad at the 20-minute mark, for example, 60% of the people just end up exiting out of it and not finishing the movie. So then on future watches, I wonder if there's like a dynamic ad placement sort of thing, algorithm on Tubi. That's just really interesting to me. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I hate when I watch the movies on Tubi and the ads are... Bucho, everybody. That's Bucho right there. Our favorite Kiwi, live from New Zealand with, just rock solid, never moves a muscle. He's always ready. He never knows when I'm going to push the button, and yet he's always ready. And it's amazing, honestly. After all this time, there's storms, there's all kinds of things, earthquakes, tsunamis, and yet it's just a rock solid connection every single time. And there he is. There he is. So, oop. Fool you. Let's see. Okay, I'm really behind, so I'm gonna... All right, I'm ashamed to admit that I still haven't watched the movie on Blu-ray, so I haven't listened to the commentary or watched the special features. Oh, Cryptic. Oh my gosh. Dude, the making of on disc 1. I mean, the bonus disc has great stuff. Don't get me wrong. But disc 1 has the documentary that Billy put together that is literally worth the price of admission. It is so well done. I loved it so much. And I told him, I'm like, dude, this ranks right up there as one of my favorite documentary. And I'm talking objectively, not subjectively, objectively. It's objectively one of the best docs on the making of a movie that I've ever seen. So I would highly, highly recommend that. And the commentary is great. There's multiple commentaries. I think there's 2, right? There's one with me, Billy, Jay, and Dave. And then there's one with Jim, Chief, and Eric, I think. They're both great. They're both really fun. So he would make some version of that joke every time he popped in here, and I enjoyed it every time. I know it. I know, Bucho. It was great. I don't enjoy working for Disney. They're very stingy with their catering. A man gets hungry and sometimes wants 2 dinners. Samuel, I'm guessing he's talking when he says it's mid at best. He's probably talking about Tour of Duty. Dawn of the Dead is a decent movie, but Tom Savini's zombie makeup effects are pretty shoddy. He did end up directing the 90s remake of Night of the Living Dead, though, which I actually prefer to Romero's. I don't think I've seen that. There's so many of those that it's not really my thing. But Adam Russell, how's it going, sir? And Jody B, good to see you. Arc Raiders, I play Tarkov. Jody B, check out Arc Raiders. I'm telling you, it's got the same sort of gameplay loop. It's very close to Tarkov as far as you're doing raids, you're collecting things to build a base. You've got a quest line. You've got traders and all that kind of stuff. It's just a really cool, it's third party, not first party. So that that messes with people coming over from Tarkov because, you can basically hide behind a wall, but you can see everything, which kind of changes the gameplay loop or the way that you have to approach a fight. But I love it. I love watching it. And the sound design is, it's so good. I love the sound design in that game. It's so, so good. So I would check it out for sure. And the difference is there is like if there's, I think 3-man teams, is the most you can have. And with 3-man teams, there's the whole, you get knocked down or knocked out and you can be revived. But once you're dead, you're dead. You know what I mean? But you can, if you get knocked down, but then you can, revive them, you can do that, which is kind of cool. I've played Arc Raiders too. It's great, but Tarkov is Giga Chad game. I've been playing it PvE. PvE. Player versus environment? I don't know what that means. What? And look, I know you're probably typing it in chat right now, but hey, by the time I get there, what does PvE mean in gaming? PvE, player versus environment. I was right. A type of gameplay where players compete against computer-controlled opponents and challenges rather than other human players. Okay, that makes sense. Now see, that I might be able to do, but there you go. I want to try both Tarkov and Arc Raiders. Well, there you go, Starfox. You should do it. I've been tempted to play Fortnite now. The Simpsons update is out, but I would be woeful. Only online multiplayer I still play as Halo. And aren't they? I don't know what they're doing with Halo. Simpsons Fortnite is great. And Leon says I usually only stick to 1-player games. Oh. Okay then. Yeah, me too. I'm not an online guy. I've told the story. Diablo 1 got up to a really, really high level. Was like, all right, let's check out this online thing, see how it goes. I'm pretty freaking strong. And somebody killed me in town. You're not supposed to be able to do that. But somebody was cheating, killed me in town, and took all my stuff. And I went, okay, I guess that means I'm not playing online anymore. So it just completely soured the whole experience for me. Now I know there's probably a lot of anti-cheat stuff out there now, and it's probably a lot better. And oh my God, you're missing out. It's just not my thing. Rufus the Red, hello. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. What annoyed me about DKR was you couldn't understand Tom Hardy's Bane at all, but when the home release came out, the audio was different, and Chris Nolan tried bullshitting, saying he hadn't changed it.
You think the darkness is your ally. I was born in it, molded by it.
Dude, I still, man, I can watch that scene. I love the way he goes when he says, I was born in it, molded by it. Something about, I didn't look at the light until I was a man. And then up to then it was only blinding. And the way he says blinding, it's so cool. And then, and he says, the shadows betray you because they belong to me. It's so cool. I love it. I love it. Some of the coolest, just badass lines. I love it. You know Star Wars? I bet you don't know who Darth Vader is. Yeah, I do. He's the captain of the Enterprise. Hello. I haven't watched a non-animated Batman movie since The Dark Knight. That was there's some good ones. There's some good ones. I enjoy all of them, really. I mean, seriously, it's even some of the bad ones I still enjoy, It's just the way it is for me. I just enjoy it. I really enjoyed the Pattinson Batman, yeah. And dude, the Penguin. Oh my God. The Penguin was so good. So good. I worked at a picture car place and we did all the Oshkosh vehicles for it. One of the coolest experiences of my career was going to the shop where all the tumblers, bat pods, and bats were maintained. Jody B, if I were you, I would have crapped in whoever's pants. I don't know what the thing is about me crapping in other people's pants. I don't know. It's just kind of funny because you're like, oh my God, I would have crapped my pants. Well, what if you crapped in someone else's pants? I mean, that's got to be like more intense, right? That's like an exclamation point at the end, you know? No? Anyway. I love ad breaks. It's a reminder for a pee break. Run fast like the old days. Ito, I get that. I understand that. And you know what? There is a place for that. And also, it was like, hey, we hadn't, if you're watching with somebody, you're like, hey, we haven't said a word to each other in the last 15 minutes. Hey, how you doing? You doing okay? Huh? Need a foot massage? You never know. You never know what that could lead to. So yeah, in a way, I get what you're saying, man. Ad breaks can serve a purpose. For sure. Yeah, you definitely, Rufus, there's only one to watch right now. The Batman. It's literally called The Batman. You should watch it and give it a shot. It is a bit long, for sure, but really well done. And you get to see a new take on Batman, which is one of the things that I love about when somebody says, hey, we're going to do a reboot. I'm like, cool, do something new, which is why to me, Predator Badlands was so cool because it was like, it took the idea and did something new with it. It wasn't just group of people have to stop this alien force. You know what I mean? It was a completely different type of story. A lot of people didn't like it for that. But then I say a lot. There were some people that didn't like it because of that. But there were a ton of people that really enjoyed the movie. So, I don't know. I worked with a guy a few years ago. After he had done Dark Knight, he actually got pulled over in a Tumbler as it didn't have valid tags in Chicago and had to explain what it was. I thoroughly enjoyed Tenet, bar the terrible audio issues, which were so bad I had to watch it with the headphones on. Mickey 17, however, terrible. I mean, unfortunately, you're correct. Mickey 17 was such a disappointment. It was such a cool premise. And instead, it was like, hey, let's tell social commentary stuff. And it was just like, man, just tell a good story. You want to add social commentary stuff, and that's part of the story, great. But when you basically stop the story to start lecturing the audience, you lose me. Product placement for Oshkosh military vehicles. I had to go take pictures of the big truck from the end to match colors. I was given an address in NoHo, and that was all. See, it's so cool. It's so cool, Jody. When I pulled up, the gate was opened, and there was a bat just sitting there. My jaw dropped because I didn't know about those things yet. I'll take it off the list. It looked interesting. You should watch it. The only Batmobile I've worked with was the one we used on Justice League. Nowhere near as cool as the Tumbler. I mean, look, I think the Justice League one is pretty dang cool, but honestly, you're right. You're right. The Tumbler there's something F-117 stealth fighter about it. I just love it. The Nighthawk, if you're nasty. It's great. Yes, there's a PvE mode to other players and the AI is hard. Okay. See, I think that'd be fun. That could be really, really fun. But I don't have a PC. So I tried playing with a friend recently on Baldur's Gate 3, but it's pretty unstable as he was PC and I'm Xbox. But to be honest, we ended up just chatting instead of playing the game. Well, that's good too. That's good too. Especially when you're, sharing pictures. Bucho said, I hope this isn't controversial to say, but in my opinion, Tom Hardy is quite a good actor. His mask acting is exemplary. Good in Dunkirk also. Dude, I think Tom Hardy is an excellent actor. And you know what? I guess we'll get canceled together because we like Tom Hardy. But yeah. Vader is captain of the SS Enterprise and holder of the One Ring to rule them all. Exactly, Ito. I forgot about I didn't mention that, but yes. Yes. And he's all like, use the Force, Wicket. I don't know. He's also in Band of Brothers. That's right. That's right. Gotham Knights I've been having intermittent fun with. Isn't that the one that kind of got shut down pretty quick? Sharon Pictures? Hello, Bonobo Juice. Good to see you. Although annoying and unwanted, ad breaks still can serve a purpose. Now, don't you go skipping on me. It's a good one, Star Fox. I didn't see it coming. Didn't see it coming. Babyface Hardy and Band of Brothers. That's right. That is right. Well, I think it's 8:20. I think it's time to start showing off some of my purchases for the week. And yes, I have a problem. Okay? I have a purchasing problem right now. You see, sometimes, what about Sharon Stone? I mean, there's that too, stuff, folks. But sometimes when you go through something traumatic, sometimes buying stuff really helps. And honestly, I've been buying way too much stuff. I am going to be in trouble. Not I say that. I say that. You get what I mean. I get April and I, we worked out the deal. We get a monthly allowance, right? Get a monthly allowance, and whatever we purchase in that month, it's ours to do with. We don't have to, gas doesn't come out of there. The only thing that comes out of it is, well, vape stuff comes out of there, unfortunately. But, it is something extra. It's not, I don't need it to survive. And if, like, for example, if April's at work and I'm like, you know what sounds good? Freaking Whataburger. So I decided to go get me a sweet and spicy and a large fry and a large Coke large Coke Zero with easy ice. Yeah, I got to pay for that. So it comes out of my allowance. But one of the things that we have done in the past is, if there's a big purchase you want to make, well, fine. You can buy it on credit and you just owe it as the months trickle by. The good thing is typically, we get a Black Friday bonus because it's Black Friday. I mean, why not, right? But then also we get, Christmas is coming up too. Depending on what we do, I may end up paying for some of this with my birthday money at the end of March. That's how far behind I am and how much I've purchased. And it's literally ridiculous. Because you'll see. You'll see. You'll see. I have a habit of stress buying and or angry buying things to wind down. Me too. Me too. I see something and I go, why not? Why not? And that's what happens. I just bought a meat grinder attachment for my KitchenAid. I'm also going to buy that bidet attachment next week because my bum needs some wash. Dude, bidet life, man. Bidets. Retail therapy, Jake, absolutely. And it is not a healthy thing. It's like I mean, look, once in a while, sure. But, and the thing is, look, we're fine. Okay? I'm fine. There's no need. But the thing is I'm not going to be getting anything extra for a while. You know what I mean? Because I've pre-ordered, like, there's 4 movies on the way that haven't come out yet. 4 pre-orders. And then all of this. Plus, I don't know if you saw it, but yeah, this was $250. I mean, there's 10 movies in there and it's awesome, but dude. So anyway, let's get started, okay? Exactly. Why not? I say that exact freaking thing. I mean, it's just a thing, man. It's a thing. I should build Rob a PC for Tarkov and Arc Raiders with all of my extra parts for Christmas. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Oh, and Johnny, you're not wrong. 250 is definitely better than 500 because I bought that during the 50% off sale, that like the flash sale. Now, some of this I purchased in the new Barnes & Noble sale that's going on until December 7th. If you're interested in Criterion, now is the time because you're never going to find them cheaper than they are right now. So typically, it's $20 for a Blu-ray, $25 for a 4K. So if it's a 4K combo, it's usually $25. Now, sometimes you get like the Seven Samurai. The Seven Samurai, because it's multiple discs, it can be a little more expensive. But for the most part, $25 for the 4K, $20 for the Blu-ray, which is great. But we're starting with 3 things that are not, I repeat, not from the Criterion sale. This was from a sale on eBay. 20% off, new product. I said, okay. First up, we talked about the Warner Archive last week. Man, I've been in a mood. The Hollywood Legends of Horror collection. So this is 6 discs, 6 movies in a very thin Blu-ray. I love these so much. I want all of them. There's a Joan Crawford one. There's a Betty Davis one. There's a Judy Garland one. There's I have the Clark Gable one. I have the, what was the other one I bought? Gary Cooper one. There's oh God, there's a lot of them. But anyway, this is the Hollywood Horror Legends of Horror, The Devil Doll, Dr. X, Mad Love, Mark of the Vampire, The Mask of Fu Manchu, and The Return of Dr. X with Humphrey Bogart. This is, I believe, the movie where in the middle of the movie, the character, is bandaged and you kind of see it from his point of view, and then he takes it off and it's Humphrey Bogart. I might be getting that wrong, but I think that's what it is. But what's awesome is that each one gets a beautiful picture disc, and all of the special features that are on the individual releases are included on this. So Warner Archive, man, I love them. And I'm really looking for, this was around Halloween, and that's why I was like, oh my God, they did a Legends of Horror. I want this. So I bought it. It was 20% off. Next is another 6-disc Warner Archive, the Errol Flynn collection. I have not seen a single one of these or those, but I'm really enjoying the old films. Really enjoying them. So we've got Robin Hood, Seahawk, Santa Fe Trail, Edge of Darkness, Objective Burma, I almost said Operation Burma, and The Adventures of Don Juan. Look at that. Look at that crap. So yeah, very cool. And by the way, on the Criterion collection, Captain Blood from Errol Flynn is coming out soon. Haven't seen it, but it's probably going to be on my list next sale. But there you go. Very cool, the Warner Archive, and these were 20% off. These are typically about $60, so about $10 a movie on like Amazon. So I got 20% off of that. Pretty good deal. The next one is one that I just didn't get around to buying, but I saw it and I'm like, it's part of the sale. Let's do it. Arcane Season 2 in 4K, limited edition, all that stuff, the Steelbook, right? I had to get it, man. I will say that I am not a huge fan of the way Arcane ended. I wasn't crazy about the last couple of episodes, but it's still super great. Very excited. There's a lot of special features on there. Arcane Season 2, or the final season. Now the next 3 are also not part of the Criterion collection. These were pre-orders that finally came in. I'm guessing I was on the second run. These aren't as impressive, okay? I'm just going to say it. These aren't as impressive as the limited edition. The limited editions, which Billy has, the limited editions are amazing. They look great on the shelf. Everything about it is really cool. But I got the standard editions of the Dollars Trilogy in 4K. I've got them. I'm very, very pleased that I was able to get these. I thought they were going to be sold out, but just that is a fistful. There's so many great special features. I am so excited to dig into these, and I'm going to watch them again. Again, if you don't remember, A Fistful of Dollars was the movie that we watched the night before all the stuff went down. I watched it over at Billy's. I watched his copy, his 4K, and we both really enjoyed it. And we're like, hey, tomorrow night, let's watch the next one. And unfortunately, when I got there, we had to go to the ER. And then things happened. So anyway, Fistful of dollars. Here's for a few dollars more. Look at all those special features. There's just a ton, man. There's just a ton. And the cool thing about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is it has 2 different cuts of the movie on 2 different 4K discs. So I'm very, very excited to dig into these. Multiple commentaries. I mean, it's great. And yeah, do they look as good on the shelf? No. Am I glad that I have the content? Yes. So yeah, I didn't get the books, basically. And these also don't come, the limited editions come with Blu-ray copies of the movies too. So there's one fewer disc, one disc less, you get what I mean. The Blu-rays for the movies are not included in these. It's just the 4K and then the special features Blu-ray, right? But still, awesome to have. I'm glad I have these. Now it's Criterion time. I have these out of order for some reason. Oh, put that there. Okay. So the first one, I went to 2 different Barnes & Noble stores. I had a list of ones that I wanted. The first one that I went to had a very, very terrible selection. I mean, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was picked over because it was a couple of days into the sale, or if that store just doesn't carry a lot of Criterions. But the first movie is a movie in fact, I will say this. I have only seen 2 of these films. And the 2 that I've seen, I've only seen once, and they weren't the best copies. So I saw one of them in the theater, but that was way back when. I've changed. So we'll see. Anyway, the first movie, a movie I haven't seen, My Man Godfrey. Now, this is from 1936. It's 93 minutes. There's the special features. New 4K digital restoration, but this is a Blu-ray. But the reason that I bought it is because of William Powell. From the Thin Man movies that I watched and I loved so much. And I thought, you know what? William Powell on the Criterion collection. I'm going to watch this. And I'm probably going to enjoy it. So there you go. My Man Godfrey on Blu-ray. The next movie that the only other movie that this store had on my list is a movie that, as I said, I saw probably somewhat recently, probably in the last 8 months, but way before they announced it. And it was because I'm on a William Friedkin kick. I love William Friedkin. There's something about him. He's like Ridley in that he's a no-nonsense kind of guy, and he'll just tell you like it is. You know, it's just that's the way that guy rolls. He's going to tell the truth. And if you don't like it, too bad, because he's going to tell you. But I love the way that he describes, things that happen. He's always got the greatest commentaries. I don't even know if this has a commentary. Because this came out, of course, it's been a while. He did die. William Friedkin. I do not see. Nope. This doesn't have a commentary, but it has, I haven't even shown you the movie. The movie is Sorcerer. Now, the funny thing is, this is not a fantasy film. This is a movie that's based on, I will say this, I never saw the original film called The Wages of Fear, but it's basically about, a hallucinatory journey into the heart of darkness. William Friedkin's pulse-pounding reimagining of the suspense classic The Wages of Fear was dismissed upon its release because it came out like within a couple of weeks of Star Wars. So Friedkin had an amazing run at the beginning of the 70s, right? He had The French Connection and then The Exorcist. And his next movie is Sorcerer. But it comes out within a breath of Star Wars and gets completely ignored. So it's kind of one of those weird things, just because of when the movie came out. It wasn't any it wasn't because the movie was bad. But anyway, only to be recognized decades later as one of the new Hollywood's boldest auteur statements. In a remote Latin American village, four desperate fugitives, a New Jersey gangster played by Roy Scheider. I'm also on a Roy Scheider kick. So, a Mexican assassin, Francisco Rabal, an unscrupulous Parisian businessman, Bruno Kremer, and an Arab terrorist, Amadou is his name, take on a doomed mission, transporting 2 trucks full of highly explosive nitroglycerin through the treacherous jungle. Aided by Tangerine Dream's otherworldly synth score, Friedkin turns each bump in the road into a tour de force of cold sweat tension, conjuring a hauntingly nihilistic vision of a world ruled by chance and fate. Now, here's the thing. This movie is weird. It's a weird film. But I had to get it. A 4K version of a Friedkin movie with a documentary called Friedkin Uncut from 2018. A documentary by Francesco Zippel featuring, I'm guessing that's how you say his name, featuring interviews with Friedkin, screenwriter Waylon Green, filmmakers Wes Anderson and Francis Ford Coppola, and others. There's so much on this. There's so much on this. But it's also not in your typical Amray release. This is a cool thing. So I'm very excited to revisit this film and watch all the special features. From 1977, William Friedkin's Sorcerer. There you go. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to check the listings on Barnes & Noble's website and see if the other Barnes & Noble store that's it's a little further away, but I was like, I wonder if they have some of the stuff I want. And they did. So that night, I drove over there. I got my receipts. I keep my receipts with my movies, by the way, when I buy them, because I'm a nerd. So they had 3 movies on my list. This first one is a movie I've never seen, but I saw like, JX editor, hello. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of going through my spiel. So I will get to you, but I hope you're doing well too. This is a movie that I'd only seen like bits and pieces of because I was way too young to be watching this movie, but it always intrigued me and it kind of freaked me out. So I wanted to watch it. The movie is Altered States. This is a brand new 4K release. As soon as they announced it, I said, that's going on my list. I want to see this movie. I've never seen it, and I wanted to see it. And this is from 1980, and it's got William Hurt in it. Eddie Jessup, researcher, begins using himself as a test subject for his mind-expanding psychological experiments. It sends him on an increasingly dangerous substance-fueled odyssey from humankind's primordial past to the outer limits of consciousness. So there you go. 4K release of Altered States. There's all the special features that are on it. I'm very much looking forward to watching this movie and seeing it for the first time in its entirety. Because like I said, I saw clips as a child. And it's not 30% off. It was 50% off. So yeah. So that $49.99 went down to $25. So yeah. Altered States. 2 more from this store. The next movie is a movie that has been out for a while, but I never thought to get it because I was like, I'm not such a fan of David Lynch. But now I am. I'm a huge fan of David Lynch now. I really dig David Lynch, and now I feel like I'm able to maybe get what he's trying to put out there. So here's a movie of his that I'd never seen. It's very famous. I'd never seen it. I don't know what to expect. All I know is that it's got a hell of a cast. Blue Velvet in 4K from 1986. And I mean, you've got Kyle MacLachlan, who I love now. I didn't ever really vibe with him. Yeah, I love him now. He's awesome. Isabella Rossellini, Dennis Hopper, Laura Dern, Hope Lang, George Dickerson, and Dean Stockwell. Dude, I'm in. I'm in. Blue Velvet, David Lynch's Blue Velvet. Never seen it. And of course, this 4K edition was approved by him before his passing. It doesn't look like there's a commentary, but there's a lot on here. And it's a very, very nice edition. I'm very excited to experience Blue Velvet for the first time. So there you go. Blue Velvet. The next film is another David Lynch film. A film that, like I said, I saw in the theater and walked out going, huh? Didn't get it. Don't know if I will get it, but I'm intrigued by it and I want to see it. Again. And I'm glad that I have it in my collection. It is David Lynch's Mulholland Drive. 4K edition. Even though it's thicker, $49.99 down to $25 during the sale. So again, this is a movie that I saw in the theater because everybody was like, oh, David Lynch, David Lynch, David Lynch. And I'm like, I don't know what David Lynch is about. Let's go watch this Mulholland Drive. And I walked out going, I don't get it. But there you go. Here are the, again, supervised by director David Lynch, director of photography. Interviews. Looks like a lot of interviews. On-set footage, deleted scene. Interview with Lynch from the 2005 edition of filmmaker and writer Chris Rodley's book, Lynch on Lynch. Look, I have become, Twin Peaks unlocked something in my brain. And I love David Lynch now. And I'm really, really happy to have another movie from his filmography in my collection. I want to get Inland Empire. I hear that one's not quite as good. So it wasn't one that I wanted to immediately buy, but that will probably come later. I've seen Eraserhead. It's a weird film, but I kind of want to add that to the collection as well. So there you go. And I've never seen Wild at Heart. I want to see that one. Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern. Yeah, I want to see that one too. But yeah, Mulholland Drive in the collection. And I'm not done. Because I'm insane and I'm spending way too much money, okay? And I'm not saying that for any kind of anything, but just I need to chill out, okay? Yes, I've been slightly, I wouldn't say depressed. You go through moments. You go through times when you get down a little bit. And for some reason, I usually turn to Amazon and buy things. Or eBay. And it just happens to be that movies are my thing. So here are two more movies that were on my list that neither one of the stores had. Shozama, Are You There? Because I believe this movie was recommended by you. All That Heaven Allows from 1955, 89 minutes. I have no idea. I've never seen it. Never seen the movie. So yeah, there's all the special features. The disc is made in Mexico, okay? Just so you know. The disc made in Mexico. But there you go. Again, I don't know. You've got Jane Wyman and Rock Hudson. I mean, that's a killer cast right there. This is a Douglas Sirk. But yeah, I mean, okay, $20. Bam. Got that from Amazon because again, my Barnes & Noble didn't have all that stuff. And the final movie is another movie that I've never seen. From director Alex Cox from 1984. A movie that I've never seen, but I remember seeing it on cable and going, I don't know. I mean, it's rated R. I can't watch it, but I was always interested in it because I didn't know what to expect from it. But it's got Emilio Estevez and Harry Dean Stanton. Right. You know him. Harry Dean Stanton, right? I love Harry Dean Stanton. Like everything he's in, he's great. He's really, really great. Repo Man. And part of the reason that I wanted this is not only because it was something that came out when I was a kid that I couldn't watch, but also this case is really cool. I mean, just everything about the case is really, really neat. The way that artwork works, I mean, it's just cool. And again, 4K. This recently came out. One 4K disc of the film presented Dolby Vision HDR, one Blu-ray with the film, and special features, audio commentary featuring Alex Cox, the writer-director, executive producer Michael Nesmith, the casting director, actors Cy Richardson, Xander Schloss, and Del Zamora. I don't know those people. But there you go, man. I'm really excited to get into this one. There's so many, man. It's like that. One of the things about Criterion is that it feels like film school. You know, it feels like you're learning from the masters. And whether you like these movies or not, there's going to be something in the movie that makes you go, that's why this is in the Criterion Collection. It's an important film for some reason. And sometimes the joy is in finding out what that reason is. So there you go. I had a great time spending money, but man, I need to knock it off. So that's all. That's all the physical media that's going to be here for at least 2 weeks. And then I think there's one, and then two more. So every week there will be one. So they're more recent releases coming soon. But I'm very excited about those as well. So I went from having, like, basically getting caught up on my watch list to now being buried. I mean, not only did I buy the 10 film Wes Anderson collection and all those, but I also got the Star Trek original series, the Next Generation. I've never seen this. So, of course, after Miami Vice, it's insane, man. It's insane. I need to knock it off, basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. So there you go. So let me get caught up here because I was doing things. Oh my God. This isn't Minecraft. Vinny, it's not. But welcome. You're probably not even here anymore. You're probably like, I'm tired of hearing you talk. Let's see. What's your email? order42show@gmail.com. Just tell your wife, honey, I saved us $250. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't work. She knows. She understands. She knows what time of the year it is. She's like, oh, it's November. That means it's Barnes & Noble 50% off time. Rob's going to be buying a ton of freaking movies. It just happens every year. Tommy Callahan, too, would say, why say no when it feels so good to say yes? Joan Crawford, such a sweetheart. I don't know anything about her. I don't think I've ever seen a movie with Joan Crawford that I know of. But it's so awesome to watch old movies and get to learn about, these great actors that so many people have basically imitated over the years and patterned their careers after. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that is just interesting, I just love that. I watched a Rob recommendation the other day. The Big Heat was good. At the time, I imagine it was more impactful. Also wanted a Frasier kick, so rewatched Blast from the Past. You know what, Leon? I'm glad that you enjoyed The Big Heat. It's weird because I've watched a lot of, I've talked about that, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? The Big Heat is a noir film that I'd been watching a lot of noir movies, and The Big Heat rose above. Like, to me, stuck out. I mean, The Maltese Falcon is a great movie, but The Big Heat, it rose above because it felt way more modern than it was, Like a movie from the 50s felt like it was made way later. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. The filmmaking, the storytelling was great. The acting was great. I just really enjoyed it. I didn't see some things coming. In most of the noir films, it's kind of like, oh yeah, of course this is going to happen. Not this one. I really enjoyed that. So. I don't know why that's funny. Bucho said, Bonobo Juice, you are such a sweetheart. And then Bonobo Juice said, thank you, Bucho. I credit it all to Joan. That is a fistful of features. Yeah. The Clint in a Pinch series, my man. Yeah. Look, I've bought those so many times, but what sold me on it, because it was like, man, I've bought them so many times. Do I really need to see it again in 4K? But man, watching, I almost said Bucho, watching Billy's copy of A Fistful of Dollars and then pulling up my digital HD copy, which is the only copy I had in HD. I have the DVD set somewhere. I think it's in one of the boxes. But anyway, I have the DVD set of the Dollars trilogy. And then I bought, back then it was like, I'm not buying physical media anymore. I'll buy a bunch of digital stuff. Oh, look, the Dollars trilogy is, $15 or whatever. So yeah, I bought that. I pulled that up and was showing him, like, look at the difference in the color grade, in the quality of the image, the depth of the image. It was amazing to see. So I was just blown away, and I'm like, damn it, I want these. I really want these limited versions of this movie. They were sold out, and the cheapest that I found was like $400 for the 3 movies sealed on eBay. And I'm like, I'm not paying $400 for those movies. But then I saw on Diabolic had the standard editions on pre-order, and I went click, click, click. Bring it. Bring it. So I did. So there you go. That's good pun work, and I'm mad I didn't make it myself. What was it? Oh, that's A Fistful of Features. Oh, yes. Yeah, that was good. My aunt sold Amway. Amray. I feel like there's a joke there, and I'm not getting it, because there's like Amray, right? Amray. But then there's Amway. I feel like there's a joke there. Maybe. As I was typing, I was thinking, hopefully I get it on there before Bucho says it. Bucho is a pun king. So for you to snatch that away from him, I mean, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's way nicer than my copy of Altered States. I have the old cardboard flap version. I don't even know what that is. Is that VHS or old DVD? Old Blu-ray? I don't know. I've never seen the movie. I hope it's good. 80s seems like a good sweet spot for movies. Technology hasn't taken over, and they're going off very refined methods built up over the years. Absolutely. But at the same time, there are people that are trying to push the envelope, and it just doesn't quite work. There's a lot of, I'm just going to say it. There's some really crap movies in the 80s. There's some amazing movies in the 80s, but there's some crap ones too. And then what makes it even worse is in the mid 90s when they're really starting to toy with CG, and the CG just looks effing awful. Like, look, I know that there are fans out there of Spawn, the movie Spawn with John Leguizamo as Violator, and I'm going blank on the guy that played Spawn. Michael J. White, right? I know there are people that are fans of that movie. Arrow just came out with a 4K release of it. I hate that movie. I hate it because, number one, it doesn't really capture Spawn in the way that I saw Spawn, because I collected the comics from the beginning of the run over on Image Comics, if you guys remember that. But not only is it technically bad, the story is bad. And I can't get down with that. I just can't. So I don't know. So that there are those moments. There are those movies that are almost like tent poles of, oh, this is how bad CG was in the 90s. Oh, this is how bad effects were, in the like rotoscoping and stuff like that in the 80s. Oh yeah, that's one of the worst ones. Okay. But then you see really, really great, examples of that. And I tend to go for the ones that tell the best story. And so even bad effects or good effects or not, But it just so happens that to me, like when I think of the 90s, one of the worst, like one of the worst big budget films that I can remember that I remember thinking, oh my God, this is effing awful. And I have it on DVD. Lost in Space with William Hurt and Mimi Rogers and what's his face from Friends and Heather Graham and Gary Oldman. The only reason that that movie is not like I don't snap that movie in half is for the line that is so badass. And I don't even know if it was in the original show. But it's also the way that it's shot. Camera is a little above like head level. Usually, you've got cameras, about here, right? Like here it's at eye level, right? It's above eye level, just above. And Gary Oldman is walking toward the camera under, like basically on the left side of the frame, right? So left side of the frame going this way, and he disappears kind of under the frame as he's talking. So he's like right here as the shot starts, and he's walking off like that, if that makes sense. And the line is, "Give my regards to Oblivion." And the way that he says it is so badass, and it's Gary freaking Oldman, that you can't help but go, man, if the whole movie was like that, this movie would be bonkers great. But unfortunately, it's not. And the CG is awful. It's so bad. It's just so bad. But yeah, so there you go. I don't know why I keep going. Man, I go on these tangents, man. I don't know why you guys let me do that. Why? I don't know. We also have news to get to. There's a lot of news. Please tell me the cover is actually velvet. No, it's not. It just looks like it. It kind of looks like velvet, but no, it's just, yeah. And I haven't opened any of these yet because I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't be opened yet. I don't know why. Some of them I open like right away, and then some of them I'm like, we'll wait. But no. Some fine additions to your collection. Absolutely, JX Editor. Nice Grievous. Nice Grievous there. No vape pole. No, the problem was I only had 2 bottles left, and a poll for 2 doesn't make sense. So late last week I finished a bottle, and so I went ahead and put in the blueberry. If you guys remember from last week, there was blueberry vanilla swirl and strawberry vanilla swirl. I put in the blueberry vanilla swirl and immediately poured it out. It is awful. It tastes like medicine. It is so bad. And this is a company, that company I really like. But man, it was, I mean, seriously, effing awful. Okay? Effing awful. And I'm like, great. Well, I have 1 bottle left. Strawberry. Let's try that. So I just poured it on top. I didn't even re-wick it. Poured it on top, vaped it, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. It's more of like a standard strawberry flavor with a kind of a milkshake kind of thing, which is what it's supposed to be. It's fine, but it's not great. And the blueberry one was, like I said, it tasted like medicine. So no, I'm sorry, no vape poll. But we're coming up on Black Friday, which means more movies. No, I am going to be buying some basically getting some new flavors in soon. And it's like this I mixed my favorite mix that I make, the acai one, and I put it in 6 milligram because this is a mouth to lung type guy, like more like a cigarette, like not nearly as much vapor. And hey, I'm not gonna set off the smoke alarm. So anyway, no, not yet, but yes, soon. What are some other movies with materials in the title the DVD Blu-ray case could be made of, covered in? Iron Man, of course. Oh, I see what you mean. I just remember the what is it, the I think it was Evil Dead 2, and it had the Book of Necronomicon. Is that how you say it? And that one was really cool, and it was all textured and really kind of, it was almost gross to handle, but I kind of wanted it just because it was so unique. I'm I'm trying to think of other movies with. Wasn't there a movie? It was kind of like it was called Iron Sky, and it was all CG. I can't remember. I just kind of remember it, and I think it had to do with the SS, if I'm not mistaken. As in, you know what I'm talking about? The SS. Um, um, wasn't that Blue Steel? Blue Steel. Um, what's the Hugh Jackman robot fighting movie? Because that's not Blue Steel. Blue Steel is the one with Jamie Lee Curtis, right? And I think that's actually directed by Catherine Bigelow. If I'm not, I could be wrong. Real Steel. So I mean, there's movies like that. I just remember there was also a Dumb and Dumber edition that was hairy. Like it had like, I remember that. And then that really disgusting looking Dirty Work edition from Severin. Ugh. Billy has it. And it's like, ugh, this is just gross. I mean, it's not made of anything. There's not actual hair on it, but it's just a gross looking cover. Ugh. It's really fun watching old movies I never got around to seeing and then watch it in 4K for the first time. In a way, it almost feels like a new movie. Glenn, by the way, did I say hi to you, Glenn? I don't know if I did, but hi. And yes, you're absolutely right. It's one of my favorite things is when like I remember when Spartacus came out, the 4K of that. Now, I didn't get the 4K edition of it, but I'd seen Spartacus multiple times growing up because my dad really liked it. So I'd seen the movie many times. He bought it digitally. And when the 4K came out, they upgraded the iTunes version of Spartacus to 4K. So I pulled it up and I'm sitting there going, oh my God, this looks amazing. Jaws is another one. I've seen Jaws so many times in my life, and seeing that in 4K, oh my gosh, what an experience. And man, I'm telling you, that movie still works. That movie still works. In the theater, it was awesome. I loved it so much. It's really one of my favorite things that the movie industry is doing right now is that they're putting a lot of classic movies in the theater again, and I really, really appreciate that. It's great. Hell yeah, Twin Peaks Mulholland Drive is like a fever dream. It's great. Only Lynch movie I never finished was Inland Empire. I just couldn't get fish hooked. Yeah, and Bonobo Juice, it's just going to be one that I have to go on that journey myself, So yeah, Wild at Heart, I've never seen. Inland Empire I've never seen. Eraserhead I have seen, but I'd like to buy I think it's just a Blu-ray. Shit, I'm who knows, man. December 7th, we still got lots of time. I might end up buying more, but I'm really going to try to knock it off because I've bought a lot. But yeah, I'm just, man, Twin Peaks. Cause I mean, I'd watched Dune, as a kid and then as an adult and still was like, I don't get it. And then I watched, Lost Highway in the theater and was like, I don't get it. Watch Mulholland Drive in the theater. I don't get it. I never clicked with David Lynch, but for some reason Twin Peaks was that perfect. It eased me into it, and then by the end I was absolutely just I when people were saying that they were like when they heard that David Lynch had died that they cried. Now I get it. I understand because the man was such an artist, and it also made me realize that, oh, this is why I like so many of Ridley Scott's movies. This is why Blade Runner works for me, but it doesn't work for a lot of other people. It's because I love the feel of the movie. There's something about the feel of that movie that just works for me. And yeah, it's not the best plot as far as like the way that the plot unfolds. It's a little slow, but for some reason it just absolutely works for me. And it made me realize that I'd been looking at movies. I mean, of course, narrative is important, story is important, but man, there's an, my little three-legged table guy, right? My little three-legged table thing where I said there's the technical side, there's the acting, and there's the story. And if any of those legs are short, the table falls over and the movie doesn't work. I was trying to come up with a better analogy than that, but it was the best one that I could come up with. But now there's an it factor. And I don't know how that it factor really works in, because David Lynch absolutely has an it factor where Lost Highway, seeing it in the theater because of Trent Reznor doing the soundtrack, I didn't get the movie. And I was like, I don't understand why the main character changes actors in the middle of the film. Why? Doesn't matter. In a David Lynch movie, that kind of stuff doesn't matter. It's about the feeling that you get. And I just dig it. I just dig it, and I dig his style, and I want more, obviously. So there you go. Flubber. Oh, that would be it. Actually, I think there was a Flubber edition where it was kind of a, wasn't there? And I'm talking about the new Robin Williams. I want to say it was a DVD, and it had a special. I'm not seeing it here. I want to say that there was an edition of Flubber that had a weird, almost gelatinous feeling thing to it. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just making that up because all I'm seeing is just the DVD and the VHS. Wait a minute, 1997, maybe. No. I don't know. But that would have been interesting, actually. Yeah, retail therapy is absolutely real. I'm not sure if the 4K UHD is worth it for the extra money over normal Blu-ray releases, but maybe it is. Proto Mike. I mean, in general, I can understand that because I'm one of those people that no matter the movie, if the movie is quality and it draws you in, you don't worry about the quality. Like, for an example, I remember when I think I got the Blu-ray. I'm trying to remember. I think I got the DVD of Casino Royale. The Daniel Craig Casino Royale, right? And then I got the Blu-ray of Casino Royale. And it was absolutely, like, immediately you could tell. But the thing is, with the new technology, DVDs upsampled look great. And if you're into the movie, you're not going to notice that, oh, it's a little bit fuzzy, you know? There's something about that that's also kind of, it's weirdly nostalgic. Now, I know that a lot of people know me from the Game Chasers, but I was never a big nostalgia guy. Like, I don't typically hold on to nostalgic things just because of their nostalgic value, if that makes sense. I mean, I say that, and I've got, stuff up here that's obviously nostalgic for nostalgic reasons, but it's not what I focus on. I typically focus on the latest and greatest. Like the idea of somebody going out and paying a bunch of money for a VHS copy of a movie. I don't get that. Like, I don't understand it. I understand a Laserdisc, even though I won't watch either one, a VHS or a Laserdisc. At least a Laserdisc is big and it has the art on it, and there's a quality to that that's almost like buying vinyl. There's something about that I understand, but VHS I don't, because I don't typically like the format, the format of the covers, and I don't like and the quality of the VHS is just terrible. So I'm kind of like, I mean, unless you're just really nostalgic for that, you're a kid, you're popping in a VHS and you're watching a movie, even you see in the FBI warning, and then you see the coming soon on VHS or whatever, right? Coming soon from Walt Disney or whatever. And you watch the trailers for the movies that, you've seen 100 times. Maybe that's really nostalgic for you. But I see that and I go, no, I don't like that. I don't like it. So it's weird. Now, in my opinion, for brand new releases, absolutely get the 4K. There are certain releases where I'll go, That's enough. For example, I have, oh, it's up there. You can't see it. It's the Bond films. I have all the Bond films on yeah, all of them are on Blu-ray except for No Time to Die. And I bought No Time to Die. I didn't actually go see it in the theater, but I bought it as a blind buy because I love Bond. This movie's going to be awesome. It's not great. I don't like that last film. But anyway, I don't see a purpose in purchasing the 4K versions of the Bond films. They already look fantastic on the Blu-ray. They look great. And with the upscaling technology from on a good 4K player, they look great and they look fine. It's all based on the love of that movie, you know? And for me, the Bond films are definitely some of my favorites, but I've seen them a billion times. I don't watch them a lot. And I don't think that the quality difference is worth the extra money. I say that, and I just bought a $90, almost $90 version of A Bridge Too Far in 4K just because I like the box. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask, but I'm a guy that, you know, if there's a movie in 4K that I really want, I will spend the money for it, you know? And it's just to me, the biggest problem right now in collecting physical media is that the studios know that we're fans, and the studios know that we'll pay a premium for a movie that's never been released before. For example, Master and Commander. Master and Commander came out only on Steelbook in America, only on Steelbook, $40. For one movie, $40. Now, the standard edition of that should be $25 to $29, right? In a regular Amray case. But a Steelbook, oh, it's special, it's limited, it's blah blah blah. So they charge more. Do you actually get anything from that? Not really. But the studios know that we will pay more. The physical media people will pay more for a movie. For example, I just pre-ordered, because it came out for pre-order today from Lionsgate Limited. I pre-ordered Kevin Smith's Dogma. Now, is there a standard edition coming? Yes. But because I'm a huge fan of that movie, I had to buy the freaking Steelbook for $40. So I'm sitting here complaining about it, yet I willingly purchased those. So it's really up to you, man. And there's not going to be anybody that's going to, well, I mean, unless you go on some freaking forum where, you know, everybody's 4K, you know, snobs. But in my opinion, there are plenty of movies that don't need a 4K, you know, like, for example, this is a great movie in itself, but it's also a movie that may not need the big super high definition 4K HDR treatment. As good as it gets. Jack Nicholson, right? Helen Hunt. It's a great movie. It's a fantastic movie. But do you need 4K HDR on that? There are going to be some people that will argue, absolutely, yes, every movie should have a 4K transfer in HDR and blah, 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 blah. I just don't think a movie like that needs it. And guess what? Here's the thing. If they came out with it, I've still got my DVD. In fact, don't I have it? Yeah. It's right there. Next to Austin Powers, which is the yellow one. As good as it gets. How many times have I watched it in the last 10 years? I haven't. So is it worth buying a 4K release of it? Not for me. But it really depends on the movie, and it depends on your budget. It depends on a lot of things. But my problem is I get that FOMO real bad. I get that FOMO and I'm like, I got to do it. I got to do it. You know, I wish I'd bought the limited edition versions of the Dollars trilogy because they look insane. They look so good. it is, to me, those releases are absolutely worth the money. If you're a fan of the Dollars trilogy, man, seek them out. Go on Diabolic and see if you can get them. And hopefully Arrow will keep making the standard editions because they're not making the limiteds anymore. It's they look so good. But unless you have a a pretty substantial, pretty good 4K player and you've got the great big 4K TV, it may not be worth it for you. So I think I'm going in circles now. So I'll just stop. But it really comes down to you and how much of a geek you are about it. I think physical media will be very valuable in the near future. I mean, yes and no. It depends. I mean, who knows? It could be like vinyl where they almost appreciate in value, but I don't know. Like there's so many $1.50 bargain bin Blu-rays out there, you know what I mean? And it's like I just don't know. But the thing is it's something I've been thinking a lot about is piracy, right? I've been thinking about piracy. I've been thinking about how the streaming services keep raising their prices, which I think are forcing more people into piracy or back to piracy. When in a lot of cases, the video that I watched, I think one of you guys posted it in Discord, or maybe it was just something that was in my recommended. But anyway, it was basically about how Netflix was actually like a really, really good thing for getting people away from piracy because for a very, very small price, it made it easier to watch those films. So people stopped pirating so much. And then now that everything is being segmented into their own, into their own buckets, whether it's Disney or Warner or Peacock or what, Peacock, HBO Max, Disney Plus, right? You never know exactly where the movie's gonna be because not many people keep a catalog in their head of what studio came out, is to which movie, right? Like not everybody can do that. I'm one of those nerds that can do a pretty good portion of them. And I typically know where they're going to be streaming. Not everybody knows that. And it's frustrating to go, well, I just canceled this one, but now the movie that I want to watch is on that one that I just canceled. And I just re-upped over here. So it's a constant battle, which is forcing people back into piracy. But I think what it really comes down to is that people have, and I'm talking about the studios have done it. And unfortunately, it's a part of the business now. People have started to look at movies the same way that they looked at music. Because in the days of Napster and Kazaa and all that stuff, right? Music became just something you got. You didn't go pay for a CD anymore. You just got on Napster or whatever and downloaded whatever you wanted. Right? And it devalued the thing that used to have value. You used to go buy CDs or tapes or whatever. But now all of a sudden you're just getting it all for free and it devalues it in your own mind. And I think with movies, it's become the same way. Because they just throw these movies onto Netflix, you're paying a monthly fee and you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of movies. You just look at it as just a thing to watch. You don't see the artist. I'm talking about the general audience member, the general public don't see the artistry in it. They just want to be entertained. And that's why they'll go on something like IMDb and give a movie a 0 out of 10 without even a second thought about it. Not realizing that, number one, that means that that's the worst movie you've ever seen. Like, that's not how levels work. It's not a binary system. There's levels, right? Like a movie can be a 2 out of 10, but somebody else might say, no, that's a 4 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 or whatever. But when you say you're a 0 out of 10, that is like the bottom of the barrel worst movie you've ever seen. And then the people that give a movie a 10 out of 10. It's not, I love this movie. I really enjoyed it. It's a 10 out of 10. No. Predator Badlands. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was a great movie. It's probably a 7.3 out of 10. For me. Right? One of my favorite movies, Speed Racer, is probably an 8.9 out of 10. But other people would probably give it a 6.9. Or some people might give it a 2.9. Whatever the score, there's levels to it. It's not on or off. But so many people just see movies as just content and just a thing to watch, that it's devalued what movies are. And the movies are supposed to be art. Now, you might argue a lot of movies these days aren't art. True, there's a lot of crap out there, just like there always was. There was always crap, right? But the movies that really kind of rise above, those aren't crap. You know, a movie like, for example, let's do Weapons. Weapons is a lower budget studio film, but it's great. It's well acted. It's well directed. The way that it's all put together is absolutely fantastic. The idea that somebody would take this low budget film, don't worry about what the studio is getting, right? Just think about Zach Cregger's and all the people that came together, some working for scale, some pretty big actors working for scale just to get the movie made. And you're going to go out there and just pirate it? That just seems wrong. Now, I'm not your dad and I can't tell you what to do, but to me that seems wrong. I'd rather pay to rent it. Or, I went and saw it in the theater. And then I pay a subscription to HBO Max so I can just go watch it right now. But I'm paying for a valid reason to watch the movie. To just go out and pirate it just seems wrong to me. But that's also because now I'm not really in the industry. I'm not part of any, guild or anything like that. But I like to think that I should support the art that I enjoy. And it's the same with music. Sure, I could absolutely, are you kidding me? I could absolutely tonight download the discography of every single music artist that I really enjoy and just put it on my phone, and it would be free, right? It would be absolutely free. I wouldn't have to pay for anything. But it seems wrong. Now, you can also argue that music is not the best example because the musicians don't really make a lot of money on something like Apple Music or Spotify or whatever. That's a different subject. But what I'm trying to say is the fact that I'm not paying for it is wrong. It just seems wrong. And there's so many people that just try to rationalize it. Well, I wouldn't have watched the movie anyway. Then you don't watch the movie. That's kind of how things work. You don't just go into you don't walk into a movie theater and just walk right in. Hey, where's your ticket? I wasn't really going to watch this movie anyway, but since it's here, that's not how it works. So it really is like that. And the way that people try to rationalize behavior that's not right, it's filtered into so much of our lives. People just saying, well, when you start thinking, well, you're rationalizing. There's right and wrong. You know the difference. Do the right thing. But that's me. I'm a guy that I want to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And not because somebody's watching me, not because somebody's going to pat me on the back or give me a reward. No, I want to try to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And that includes paying for the entertainment that I'm not entitled to. None of us are entitled to free music or free movies or free TV shows. None of us are entitled to anything. And the idea that so many people that's why they pirate, is that they have it in their head that, well, I'm entitled to watch that movie. I'm entitled to play this video game for free or whatever. It just seems wrong. And I'm sorry.
Hey Rob, glad to see you. Hope you're doing well.
I don't know what that was. For some reason, that was earlier. That was Johnny's thing earlier. I apologize. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, but I'm just trying to say, hey, it's just something to think about, okay? I'm not saying that you have to change your whole, oh my God, I watch so many movies, I pirate so many things. Oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for all that? I'm not saying you have to make all the changes all at once, but it is something to think about. So many of us, we rationalize our behavior, and it's that mental shortcut that you have. You've forgotten that it's wrong. You know, you've done it for so long that you've forgotten that, oh, that really isn't the right thing to do. I really shouldn't be, stealing this. But you do you. I'm just going to do me, That sounds dirty, and I didn't mean for it to be. At least you got that Miami Vice, yes. Sorry, I don't know how I got on that sidetrack. And I got to hurry because we got to get into the freaking whatevers. I'm still here, and yes, I'm tired of hearing you talk. Well, thank you, Vinny. I appreciate the candor, and the truth. The truth is always preferable to lies. Always. I learned that from Albus Dumbledore. It's true. Michael Nesmith doing the Repo Man commentary is the Monkees guitar player. Oh, and the Wool Hat, he worked on some random films. I did not know that. I didn't make that connection. But yes, I do know that now. There's actually, there's a, what is it called? I think it's the BBS box set, and it's got like 5 films on it, 5 easy pieces. But anyway, there's a Monkees movie in that box set. I want it just because of that. And don't ask me why, but I've always kind of liked the Monkees. And I think the Monkees was actually kind of a favorite of Billy's. He would have randomly a Monkey song. We'd be driving down the road, Faith No More's playing or whatever. And then all of a sudden there's a Monkey song. And you're like, Monkees? And he's like, yeah, I like the Monkees. I'm like, okay. Anyway. Yeah, that's interesting. Michael Nesmith. I know that name now. And welcome, Chris. Good to see you. Blast from the Past is so underrated. That's the one with Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone? Am I right? I think I can see it's a blue cover and it's a yellow with red text. Blast from the Past. And I want to say she's like leaning up against a door or something. Now I got to look it up because I got to know. Oh no, she's not leaning against the door. Oh, I was close though. I was close. I knew it was yellow. I knew it was blue with yellow and red text. That's pretty crazy. See, that's the weird, almost, it's like I'm almost good at it. I'm not great at it, but I'm almost good. One of my favorite older movies is Rope by Alfred Hitchcock. Magic 200. I think I've seen you here before. You're absolutely right. Rope is fantastic. Fantastic movie. It's one of my early favorites. It's one of the early Hitchcock movies that my parents would let me watch. And I loved it. And Jimmy Stewart, oh my God, he's great. He's great. And I mean, the whole cast is great. But yes, great movie. Great movie. Love it. See, that's another one. I have the Alfred Hitchcock box set over here on Blu-ray. Do those really need to be in 4K? I don't think so. I mean, sure. And yeah, with a good restoration, they might be able to, bump some of the, the dynamic range of the color and all that kind of stuff. Sure. But man, the Blu-rays look awesome. I love my Blu-rays. So 7th, what's up? How fashionably late am I? I got really sick and fell asleep. 7th, no big deal. And we're just talking, man. It's fine. It's good. Every time you do these movie hauls, I'm grateful because you remind me of movies I need to see. You're welcome, Chris. I mean, it's an expensive reminder for me. Rob, for clarity from earlier, Joan Crawford was notorious for allegedly being a psychotically horrible person off camera. I did not know that. But thank you for telling me. Appreciate it. Snapcase? Yeah, see, that's the thing. These are amarais. This is what that was the technical term for them that Blockbuster used. Amaray. 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 I've heard them called clamshells, but clamshells were the old Disney. Those were called clamshells because they looked more like a clam. These aren't clamshells to me. They're amarais. But I've heard them just called Blu-ray cases. I mean, it's whatever. And then to me, the old the old Warner DVDs when they first came out. To me, those are snap cases. So there's got to be one right here, right? Hamlet. Great film. Mel Gibson, Glenn Close, directed by Franco Zeffirelli. But anyway, snapcase, right? And it's this, right? It's not a clear case. It's just nice looking artwork. I love the way that these looked, but it sucks that they're slightly different size and all that kind of stuff, right? But see, what we would do is, in order to save space in the back room, we would take this out. We would take these snaps and undo these, and then take the artwork out and put them in a slipcase. And then that would go there, and then we would put the empty cases and just stack them up in a box. But that way we could just pull out one, pull out this. Okay, that's what we needed. But anyway, that's what we did. I don't recommend you do that now, but there you go. To me, that's a snap case, but I don't know what I was doing. You'll have seen more Joan Crawford movies than you think, Rob. For example, did you know she played Logray in Return of the Jedi and Chong Li in Bloodsport? I'm pretty sure that's not true. But you're a funny guy, Bucho. You are. Don't tell me you don't remember when DVDs first came out. They had the black plastic with a little snap on the right side and the cardboard cover. What are you talking about, Bonobo Juice? I have no idea. Michael J. White, yes. A little Joan Crawford trivia for you guys. Yeah, for sure. Altered States makes for a good double feature with Christopher Walken's Brainstorm from '83. Possibly. I've never seen Brainstorm, but yes. And you're absolutely right, Jody. The Spawn cartoon was pretty great. Pretty great. Not Gary. It's good to see you, sir. How are you? I'm doing well. Could be better. Could be worse. See, it's funny. It's like, you ever, like, when you get sick, do you ever have thoughts like, man, I wonder how many people are as sick as me? And then if you really start to think, you're probably like, there's probably a lot of people that are a lot sicker than I am. And then you start going, who's the sickest person on the planet? And you're like, isn't that weird? That's where my brain goes. But anyway, I'm also kind of insane. I don't know what that was. Dude, I love the 90s Lost in Space. Yeah, I can't stand it, man. I want to punch everybody in the face in that movie. I can't stand it. I don't know, man. I just don't like it. But Gary Oldman's awesome. I'll only say how I'm going after you say how you're going. Well, there you go. Friggin' super. The Spawn HBO series was the closest we got to a good adaptation. I hear we are supposed to get a King Spawn movie next year. Well, that's the thing. Todd McFarlane keeps saying that, oh, I'm going to make the next Spawn movie. Okay, wait a minute. So you're going to direct a Spawn movie? Okay. Who knows, man? We'll see what happens. But man, I miss going inside of Blockbuster stores. I mean, I do too, but I also understand that a lot of people see Blockbuster as like the killer of the video store, because a lot of somebody's like favorite video store got closed down because of Blockbuster. But me, we only had a couple. We had Video Library, which was huge. And then when Blockbuster came, it was like, oh, better selection. It's bright. There's no greasy porn section in the back. You know what I mean? It was nice. So somebody explained the story of Spawn to me once. Now in my head, I tend to refer to him as Christian Kratos. Kind of. Kentucky Fried Movie would be an interesting movie case. Hey, that's a good one. Yeah, and Real Steel. Yeah, that was the one. Man, I'm way behind. David Lynch movies suck sausage. See, Leon doesn't see. He doesn't see movies the same way. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's like, for me, Twin Peaks was my that was the what do you call it? The Rosetta Stone. I was thinking of like a skeleton key. But it was like that's what it was for me. It was the Rosetta Stone. It's the thing that unlocked everything and made me go, "Oh, okay. Okay. I kind of get it now." Now, I'm sure that I'm going to have to watch commentaries and maybe watch a video breaking things down or whatever sometimes. But overall, I just appreciate the art of David Lynch. So, I get it. What's up, KP Senti? Peter Garcia, Patricia Arquette was a smoke show. Not lying. Not lying. Flubber, I hardly know her. Was Flubber that Green movie? Oh my God, I had this on VHS. I went too hard on retail therapy and now I'm broke. I mean, look, if you go back, you'll see. Holy crap, I went nuts. I don't know how much all that was. I could break it down, but I don't want to, you know. I remember enjoying Silent Hill, the movie, on my iPod Touch, streaming it on YouTube in 4 parts. Loved it. I only knew you from YouTube. I don't know what I was talking about. The Straight Story. I've never seen that. Family film created for Disney based on a real life story directed by David Lynch that I think gets overlooked a lot. Yes, I keep forgetting about that one. And I want to see that. They actually, it didn't get released here in the States. There was a 4K release that was in the UK and just in general, different labels in Europe. I think done by Studio Canal, and a bunch of different labels put out a 4K version of A Straight Story. And I wanted to buy it, and then I forgot about it. And then, yeah. So I don't know. I need to watch it. It's on Disney Plus. I need to just watch it. Screw VHS. I said it. No problem here. I'm only nostalgic for the VHS rewinder that played that Beethoven jingle when it finishes. Beethoven. Buying a VHS is no different than buying an NES cartridge. It's just to physically have the object. Vinny, I get that. But man, I guess it's just because I look at this room and go, there's a lot of crap in here. And you don't see that because you don't. But there's a lot. It's ridiculous. The stack of things here is stupid. And then the stack of things here, stupid. And then there's boxes. And then there's so much crap back here. Like over here, where the light is, so much crap. Over here, where Nightbot's sitting, crap. Just a bunch of crap. Boxes, trash bags. Dude, there's so much crap in here. So there you go. My 8th grade science teacher had a Laserdisc. He loved that thing. Chris, the thing was, man, I wanted a Laserdisc player so bad, especially when they released the, it was the last version of the Star Wars trilogy before the special editions came out. I really wanted those, and I just never did it. FBI warning when I'm in the UK. Come get me, bitch. You know what I'm saying. I love a good FBI warning when CD shopping. It lets me know it's a USA copy. I mean, yeah. I have all the Bond films too. Not only you. I've seen them a billion times. I don't watch them a lot. Did I say that? All I'm trying to say is I saw them a lot growing up. I've seen each one of them at least 3, 4, 5 times, right? There's some that I watched dozens of times. But it's just, you know, I just don't need them in 4K, you know? I don't, from what I've heard, they're like, yeah, they look good in 4K. Not like the Dollars trilogy where it's like, oh my God, this puts every other release to shame. That's why I wanted that. Because there's also, Kino Lorber put out versions of the Dollars trilogy, and apparently those aren't nearly as good looking as the Arrow ones. So if you can find the Arrow Standard Edition and you want them, then buy it. So, you know, take that, naysayers. I heard steelbooks are annoying to collect. They should come with inclusions so they can better justify the prices. Maybe movies like that that don't need it, just replace the regular Blu-ray over time. Bubs, what's going on? Good to see you, sir. I get what you're saying, but like, so for example, Master and Commander is a great example. In the United States, the steelbook is all you can get. and they're $40. A standard movie is going to be typically 25, brand new, like when it first releases, it's going to be between 25 and $30. So you're typically buying, they're releasing these really, really sought after films at higher price points. But then if you purchase, like I purchased Tombstone. I didn't purchase the $40 steelbook from the US. I imported a $30 or so standard copy from the UK. So it's one of those things where they keep putting a premium price on something that really shouldn't have it. And steelbooks, I mean, look, steelbooks are cool, but I hate the fact that they get marred up so easily. I hate the fact that they scratch and all that kind of stuff. And they're really hard to get in perfect condition when you get them. Like you get a Blu-ray case and it's a little banged up or whatever. You're like, oh, whatever. No, it's no big deal. But a steelbook, you want it to look good. That's why you bought a steelbook. And that's the annoying thing about them. And that they're at a premium and typically limited when they first release. So I got that FOMO on that AYN Thor last month and it shipped this morning. Oh, let me know how that is. I mean, the thing is like, I love watching Retro Gamecore. He's one of my favorite YouTube channels. I think he's just really good. And I'm interested in the handheld, scene. But man, my Steam Deck just does everything I need, and typically I don't really need anything else. So I don't know. I'm sure when the new Steam Deck finally releases the new updated version, I'm probably gonna be like, I think I need that. Thanks for all that. I guess I don't need to worry about it and just go with my gut. I'll enjoy what I get regardless of version. Exactly. And that's what it really comes down to. Like so many people, they're in a lot of ways, look, there are differences between the different TVs, right? LG does OLED a certain way that you might prefer over Samsung. Samsung does OLED slightly differently. You might enjoy Sony more, right? But the truth is, when you get home, you're not going to be thinking about, or maybe you are, and you're just kind of weirdly neurotic about it. But most people, when they get home with their TV, they're not going to be thinking about, oh man, look at how the black level isn't nearly as, I mean, you'll just be saying, oh my God, this looks so good. This looks so much better than my old TV. That's what you'll be saying. You won't be going, man, I wish the contrast ratio was higher. Or, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't know. With TVs, typically when somebody asks me for my advice, and it's not often, but typically I would say, figure out what size you want and then buy the best version you can. So if, for example, you said, I want a 77-inch TV and I really like LG 75 to 77. And I really like LG and Sony and Samsung. So, okay. Put all those, filter on Best Buy or wherever you're going to buy your TV, filter those sizes, and get the best version that you can of whatever model you want or whatever brand you want. That's it. Like, oh, I don't want to spend over $1,000. Okay. Then do that. Put it under $1,000 and buy just the best one for the whatever budget you have. And just enjoy it, not worry about what you're missing out on. Now, of course, they keep saying, oh my God, Dolby Vision 2 is coming. And you're like, oh God, man, can y'all just chill? But no, they need to sell things. So that's a great movie, Leon. He said, my favorite Ryan Reynolds movie is Buried. Great movie and saw it at the cinema, but does it need 4K? Absolutely not. 100% agreed. A Blu-ray is absolutely fine with it. It's good. It's good. Ninjitsu, you missed a lot. But how was the butt tournament? Was it as sexy as I think it is? Just saying, just asking. Where the hell are you finding these 50-cent $1 Blu-rays? Hey, there are places that you can find them. You can find them. Don't gatekeep. It's places. Used places. There's a place out in Dallas apparently that Billy actually told me about, and I never went out there. But there's a place out in Dallas that has they have movies on like by price, and it's just like anything here is $1, anything here is $2 or whatever. So, just saying. Napster, then eventually iTunes devalued music. Now everyone is conditioned to think music is free or super, super, super cheap. You're right. Netflix was cheap, easy, fast, and the visual quality was always good versus the effort to pirate and the roulette of quality. Absolutely, Proto Mike. Absolutely. I know. I can't believe it's almost 10 already. I still got the news to do. Weapons was decent. Yeah. Yeah. But it's also a very, very small budget movie. And I just hate the idea of people just saying, well, I want to watch it, but I don't have access to it, so I'm just going to steal it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess it's because, like almost minutes after Billy sent out the first codes for Adventures in Game Chasing to fans, it was on the internet. It was just on the internet, torrent sites. And I'm like, do you realize that this movie cost a lot of money and we're all like in the hole? And you're just stealing our movie. That sucks. And then anybody that would have purchased something later on just now sees it for free and they just download it. And it eats you up. It just sucks. And I understand there's going to be people that are like, well, the studios make a lot of money. They can afford to lose it. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like you rationalize. People rationalize bad behavior. And I think it's terrible. My favorite movie of all time is Sleepaway Camp, but if I were to objectively rate it, it'd be a 6 out of 10. Cannibal Kiddo, I don't know if I've seen you here before, but you know what? I like where your head's at. I do. I like where your head's at. Because that's you have to be honest with yourself. Like, I know Speed Racer is probably an objective, maybe 6.5, 7 out of 10. But I give it an 8.9 because I love it. I love almost everything about it. There are things about it that I'm like, I could do without that. But for the most part, I love that movie. So yeah, I like that. You wouldn't pirate a car, would you? I hate that. It's so stupid. Such a terrible analogy. It's like, would you just walk into a theater and then try to say, well, I wasn't going to watch this movie anyway, but since I'm here. No, that's not how it works. Because that's the excuse that I used to use. I'm going to download this album because I wouldn't have bought it anyway. I just want to listen to it. No, you don't get to enjoy art. Again, I'm not trying to do whatever. I'm just trying to say that is my thinking. And I think it's sound logic, but only nicotine for me. Movie question after stream. Do it. Do it. I am so far behind. We are so far behind, guys. So far behind. I'm gonna have to. All right, here we go. You wouldn't 3D print a car. You wouldn't download a car. I don't pirate cars online. Yeah, exactly. I used to love going to the gas station on road trips and my family to look at the cheap VHS movies on the racks that I never heard of. Yes, I love that stuff. That's one of the great things about the store experience, retail experience, is being able to go in and pick up the thing and hold it in your hand and go, I'm going to buy this. And then you go in and you lay down your fat, sweaty American dollars or whatever country you're in. You lay down your currency of choice and you take that thing and now you have that thing. There's something beautiful about that exchange. The idea that you're just literally just pushing a button, it just, the magic's gone. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of the devaluation of it is it's just like, it's literally click and you're there. And it's just, I don't know. Yeah, the straight to VHS stuff, but man, it was kind of fun. And then there's the idea, and this is something that we actually talked about in the script, is the idea that it's almost like a social contract, or it's a contract between you and the art that you're about to buy or rent. When you go to a Blockbuster and you pick a movie off the shelf and you go, I don't know if this is going to be any good, but now I'm committed. So you rent the thing. So you've paid money to watch this thing. You take it home and you're going to watch, in most cases, you're going to watch the whole thing because you already paid the money for it. And now you got to get your value out of it. So there was almost a social, a weird contract there between the thing that you were renting. And it goes the same with games too. How many times did you rent a game and it sucked, but you continued to play it because you're going to have it for 3 days or 5 days or whatever, you know? Happened a lot to me. I don't know about you. I get my cars on a USB stick from my brother. Exactly. When Billy's movie got thrown up on torrent the day it came out, it broke his heart in a way I can never put to words. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did it just repeat my message? Yeah, I don't know why it did that. It just repeated your thing, but hey, I still appreciate it. Tubi, Freevee, and stuff like that help to tap down piracy a bit. Just have to deal with small ads. True. Oh, you're not going to be charged twice. There's no exchange, and the Streamlabs site doesn't show two. It doesn't double there. So, you've done it so long, you've forgotten that it's wrong. Bars. I mean, I think that there's so much of our lives that are based on those mental shortcuts. You know, like, I don't want to get into a political discussion, but somebody asks you who you're, a Republican. Oh, really? Okay. Why? Well, because liberals suck. Okay. Well, but why though? Like, what are the things about being a Republican that make you believe that you're a Republican? And you have to think about it. It's the same if you're a Democrat. It's the same if you're, God, a Cowboys fan or an Eagles fan or a Steelers fan. You have to remember, okay, wait a minute. I know that I'm a Steelers fan, but why though? What was it that made me a Steelers fan all these years? And it's kind of an interesting thing to think about all the things that you automatically can answer, but you don't think about the why anymore. You don't think about how you got there. You just know you got there. And it's an interesting kind of exercise. And to me, like, oh, that's coming out. Oh, I'm going to pirate that. I'm not going to pay for that. Or I'm going to wait for streaming or whatever. But you don't know why. You just do it. And you automatically have answers for those things. And I find that fascinating. I'm not trying to say nothing. I'm just simply trying to say, yeah, exactly. I think. When's the Vinny C That Who I Be talk show? I mean, hey, I would love that. You have all kinds of things to talk about, Vinny. I know you do. You listen to the new full cast Harry Potter audiobook, Hugh Laurie as Dumbledore. No, Cannibal Kiddo, but I do have I do subscribe to Audible because of course I do, because I'm a dork and I love my books. I have not listened to it yet, and I have some free things. Some, what do you call them? Things. Credits? Yes, credits. So I might do that. I only know the monkeys because of this SVP guy I knew who's obsessed with them and is always saying induct the monkeys. Yeah, because the monkeys are awesome. Head. Thank you, Seventh. Co-written by Jack Nicholson, as I recall. You're absolutely right. And yes, it is in that box set. I think it's the BBS American, or it's an American Story or something like that. It's a box set. It's 5 discs or 5 movies. 5 Easy Pieces is in there. I think Easy Rider's in there. And it's all about that studio. And that studio only made those 5 movies. And it's just kind of an interesting box set. And I want to buy it. But I just never got around to it. Music and films are altered or delisted, so people are going physical media. Yes. True. All true. Amaray, I think, is the company that makes the cases. I mean, that is possible, but and you're probably right, but that's what we call them. We call them Amarays. That says open. Yeah, I don't see any on that one. I don't see anything, but whatever. I do have a lot of nostalgia for Snap cases. What the F? I didn't know those on Snap. Yep. See? Snap case. Now I know the name of it. Bam. I hate those stupid. I mean, I didn't. It's weird. It's like I like them, but I don't like them. Just sat and watched Drunken Master. I mean, come on. Jackie Chan. The weird thing is I was always more, like when I really started getting into it, I was more of a Jet Li fan. But Jackie Chan is a master. He's just amazing. So yeah, dude, yes. I have a weird DVD case that comes in a standard size cardboard sleeve, but inside there's a CD case with the movie in it. That's an interesting one. Pictures or it didn't happen. Just kidding. Whatever. Brainstorm / Green Needle. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I'm still going. We got news. No, but when I get sick, I think I'm forever going to be sick and start planning how to live with it forever. Then later realized I'll be fine tomorrow. Yes. I've done that too. Did you know James Wan played David Lopan? Of course I did. Did you also know I got the name David Lopan stuck in my head on the regular and say it out loud to myself? Trivia. You mean the guy I drove my I can't remember. What did he say? The guy I hit with my truck? No. What is he? I can't remember. Dude, I love that movie so much. I should drive out to Bend, Oregon to experience it. It's not the same, KP Senti. It's not the same. It's very like, hey, this is kind of the thing you remember. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's too... Because they've had to, do a lot of other things to make it profitable to stay open. But it's just not quite the same. But for some reason, when I think of Lynch's films, my mind lumps them in with Cronenberg. I mean, I get that too. They do have a similar visual panache. I just use that word. Her name is Renee. My wife works in a remodeled family video. I wanted to get the store sign, but someone claimed it before me. That sucks. My wife. Yeah. There's one very close to me, and it is now a liquor store. You wouldn't steal a book. I mean, you could steal a book. Magnetar. Then buy the LG OLED and don't listen to Rob. I mean, look, you can go nuts for sure, but it's all, that's why I said, pick your budget and go do the thing. You'll have to sell your K-pop albums to afford it, KP Senti. For sure. For sure. Oh my gosh. God, I hate it when it does that, man. It like refreshes and then everything just gets thrown up. Wait, I mean, you are a filmmaker, so also what the F, it was that quick for a movie like that? I didn't expect it to be like that. I'm not sure. If you're talking about it getting to the internet, yeah. Or if you're talking about Vinny. I don't know what you're talking about. I meant Rob, but sure, you too. Super Mario Brothers 93. Not a good movie, but I love it. Give it an 8.8 out of 10. See, there you go. 30 minutes behind. This was posted at 9:25. BS. We're almost there. Mario, and Luigi Mario. That movie. Yeah, that one. For how bad that Mario movie was, it was the crappy Yoshi that upset me the most. I have the VHS, DVD Collector's Edition, Blu-ray Steelbook, and Collector's Edition 4K of that movie. I've signed this contract in blood to watch this Michael Douglas movie from the early 90s when he had the coif mullet. Head is dope. Frodus Boy, welcome. And is it dope? Because I want to buy that box set. Am I going to buy this box set now? Dang it. I don't need to buy any more. I took advantage of the Criterion sale and bought the Jackie Chan collection of Police Story. Hell yeah, I have it right over there. Bam, I have it too. Love it. Love it. But the thing is, it's weird because, another company, I can't remember which company, but put all three in 4K. So it's a thing. And that's one of those things where it's kind of like, which one do I buy? But hey, it's Jackie Chan, man. It's good. I already had the Bruce Lee collection. Yeah. I have the Shout Factory, Bruce Lee, the Legacy collection, which are all Blu-rays. And then Criterion came out with their version, and I'm like, I'm not buying it again. I can't buy it again. Because honestly, those movies are fun to watch, like once every few years. Like, I don't need to watch The Chinese Connection multiple times. I'm sorry, I don't. I just don't. Enter the Dragon? Sure. But other than that, I don't know. That's just me. 90s action adventure Jackie Chan movies are so much fun. Yes, they are. 80s ones and 90s. I mean, dude, there's very few that I'm like, no. Some of the ones in America that he did after Rush Hour, some of the more fantasy ones, I'm not a huge fan. But I was talking about the movie Leaking So Quick. Yes, yeah, it was ridiculous, and it's because, well, it's because people don't value what they did, and they call themselves fans, or they're people that hated them that decided to pre-order so they could leak the movie. In which case, that's also bad. I just don't get it. Super Mario 93 is a good sci-fi movie if you ignore that it's based on Super Mario. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but nope. Drunken Master is half dubbed. The language keeps jumping back and forth. Okay, Justin Yates asks, ever watch or play The Last of Us? The Last of Us came out at a time when I was still going through some pretty horrific hospital things, right? My 7 surgeries over 3 years. So what ended up happening is I ended up watching a Let's Play of it on YouTube. And it is that, then finding Jacksepticeye, finding different Let's Players. The Rad Brad is a great one. And then finding Twitch. It basically ruined me because now a lot of video games I won't even try until I watch at least the first, couple of hours of a video game, someone else playing it, because I just don't want to put in the time. Like I don't want to, I like the idea that I can just put on a video and just kind of veg out, and it's less mental strain for me to just watch somebody play it. And sometimes them commenting on it and stuff is part of the entertainment as well. So it changed my view of video games. Now, Breath of the Wild, of course, no, I didn't want to watch anybody play that. I wanted to play that. But some of those games where I'm like, The Last of Us, I just wanted to see what the hubbub was about. And I couldn't, at that time, it was really, really hard for me to even set up. So I didn't want to play a video game and all that stuff. And plus, holding a controller, you put it down, but all of this was crazy. Don't want to go into it, but basically, yeah, I watched a Let's Play of it. Really like the game, but it's also a game that I realize is not really for me. It's not really the kind of game that I like to play. Watching it is fine. It's like a movie, but playing that, it would depress me. But I watched a Let's Play of 1 and 2 and watched the show, and it's good. I like it. I don't know why they call this stuff Hamburger Helper. It does just fine by itself, huh? I like it better than Tuna Helper. Someone did a director's cut of Super Mario a while back and had it to download. Yeah, I mean, there's so many fan edits of every movie that you can think of out there. It's so crazy. It's fun, but then it also starts to be a little like, this is just some dude's version of what he would want. And then I was reviewing them and it didn't feel right because I was like, why am I'm basically, it's almost like somebody reviewing a review of a movie. And it just didn't feel right. Like, this is this guy's subjective version of what he wants from this movie. Who am I to say that that's right or wrong or bad or good or whatever? So I just stopped doing it. But I think fan edits are really fun. Flavoring in pasta. The Believers. Isn't that the one with the Martin Sheen? I never saw that one. Head is about the monkeys trying to escape their teeny bopper image, the pressure of the music industry, which is represented by black box they keep getting trapped in. Not clear when you watch, though. Oh, interesting, Frodo's Boy. Cool. I still want to see it. I mean, Last of Us was okay for one playthrough. Second one was meh, in my opinion. I don't get the hype for both of them, but they aren't bad games. I was quoting a movie I've never seen. I want to make a fan edit of a movie, but it seems like a lot of effort. It is a lot of effort because you have to learn editing, because you can't just, you can just clip out scenes you don't like or whatever, but Keeper looks like a decent horror movie. I saw the. Wait a minute. Which one is that? We've got to get into the news so we can get over to the thing. Oh yeah, It looks okay. It looks okay. There's a vibe that it's given me that's very similar to something else I've seen. And I can't really put my finger on it, but I was kind of like, eh. But yeah, I mean, it could be great. Just like I want to see Together. I've never seen it, but I've always wanted to see the Hobbit trilogy edited down. Oh my God, Chris. Oh my God. I've reviewed a lot of them. There's actually a playlist that I made on the channel that has fan edit reviews, and a lot of them are The Hobbit. But I'll save you the trouble. In my opinion, probably the best one is I think it's M4. The M4, just search for Hobbit fan edit M4 and it should come up. It's really good. But there's all kinds of different versions. There's some that make them like just a little bit shorter. Some of them take it down a lot. One of them was really interesting. It made it almost into like a streaming series. So the episodes were like 48 minutes, and it's weird how well each episode played on its, almost like a weekly show. It's kind of neat. But yeah, I think M4 does the best job. So if you can search for M4, you should be able to find it. So there you go. The editing isn't the hard part. I mean, more of cataloging and knowing which clips to use. Absolutely. I mean, you basically have to break down the movie. It's kind of like, when you're doing script things, you got to know the movie backwards and forwards to know, oh, I want this here and I want this there. And then you have to watch it. And then you go, oh, well, that has a weird, like the effect is gone, from having that scene here, moving it up here just changes the way that everything flows from then on. And it really is interesting. And it's a fun thing. Thank you for that, Rob. M4. Yes. The only edits, I mean, there's a bunch of great ones though. There's some that are, not so great, and some of them are technically not great, but some of them are really like, wow, that really took a lot of work. And M4, I think M4 did, there's some CG changes that he made that are really well done. Like I was really impressed with it. So there you go. Editing is great, but it's tedious. It is. And the great editors are hard to come by. They are. The only edits I've ever seen is that Movie Express ones, but it's just old TCM movies sped up. Yeah, that's not the same. Do I collect Laserdisc movies? Insane Gamer 1? Hey, I don't think I've seen you here. Welcome. Here's the thing. I have exactly one Laserdisc, and that's for the original Blade Runner Laserdisc. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do is I started to say, hey, when I'm in a place and there are used, Laserdiscs or whatever, I'm going to look through, and if there's any movies that I really like, I'm going to go ahead and get them. And what I want to do is something that Billy and I honestly had talked about, was putting those frames up on the wall, and you can use it basically as artwork. And if you say, hey, I'm in the mood for all Indiana Jones, you can just take them all out and put all the Indiana Jones movies in there. Or you can put, whatever. So there's picture frames that are typically used for vinyl, like, vinyl. Like vinyl, right? But you can use them for laser discs. So I have Blade Runner, and I was going to start looking for, Alien and, maybe Raiders of the Lost Ark and Jaws and, you know what I mean? Like some of the favorites and Star Wars, and put them in there. I think it'd be fun. But as of yet, I have not. You got The Crow and Predator on Laserdisc? You son of a... No, that's great, man. I mean, The Crow would be a great one. I just did an IMDb search of The Believers. I saw Robert Loggia. Loggia? I don't actually know how to say his name, but he's been in a lot of movies, and he's great. Lost Highway? Is Speed Racer even out on Blu-ray? I think so. I think I have it. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's right here. I was like, I'm pretty sure it is. I saw an Alien Laserdisc months ago. I swear I have the soundtrack CD of that movie somewhere. It's a good. It's a good. Now, all right, really quick news. First up, we were talking about weapons. Bam. Zach Kreger won't make the sci-fi thriller The Flood, his next movie for Netflix, unless they give the movie theatrical play. So he's basically saying, if you don't put it in theaters, I'm not making the movie for you, which I think is kind of cool. It says the real question is whether Netflix backs down or if they let Kreger take it out to a different studio because Zach remains committed to a theatrical release. I think that's cool. Netflix has been toying with the idea of, of course, they've got Frankenstein that was in theaters for a couple of weeks. The Wake Up Dead Man is going to get a limited theatrical release. But from what I hear, if I'm not mistaken, the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe movie that, what's her face? Barbie. She directed Barbie. Greta Gerwig. Greta Gerwig? Is that right? Isn't that her name? Greta Gerwig? Yeah. Yeah. Greta Gerwig. Yeah. That's going to be going, that's going to have a theatrical release. So it's interesting. And I hope that Zach Kreger doesn't back down. Because, yeah, his movie's awesome. His movies are great. Now, I didn't like Barbarian nearly as much, but hey, there you go. Next up, this is for the Indian fans. There's very few that actually take part in the live stream, but hey, just wanted to show you. SS Rajamouli is doing another movie. And it says Priyanka Chopra Jonas is set to star alongside Mahesh Babu in the new movie from SS Rajamouli. I saw that and I'm like, you know what? I should probably talk about that because I'm pretty sure that the next movie that SS Rajamouli does is going to get a huge release here in the US. And huge, I mean maybe 2,000-3,000 theaters. It's not going to be like the biggest, but it's going to be big. And I need to see that in the theater, Now, there's been, a lot of movies that I keep getting messages about, Indian movies that are coming out in the theater or whatever. And a lot of them are not playing near me. They're playing, about 30, 45 minutes away. And I can't, I've got too much going on to make time for that. And especially since they're 3 hours long or 2 hours and 45. And I'm like, I can't. But I'm probably going to watch the next SS Rajamouli because RRR it remains awesome. And if you haven't seen it, you need to give it a shot. Also, I wanted to point this out that allowing ads is important. Apparently, they're not going to let me close out of that. But a V for Vendetta TV series is in the works. I wanted to show that because I think that's kind of cool. It's going to be produced by James Gunn. And I love V for Vendetta. And I think that the story is, of course, written by Alan Moore before he wrote Watchmen. And it is very timely. Very timely. Okay? So it's one of those that it's got a really rich story and a really rich world. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go at HBO. I think it's going to be good. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention last week's news that Gremlins 3 is happening. Of course, it's kind of odd that we get this news so close to Billy not being here. But Gremlins 3 coming out in November 2027. And it was on Thursday. Yes, remember the 5th of November. Exactly. But yeah, it's cool. Now, again, there's going to be, There's probably going to be some CG gremlins in there, but I just want a good story. And it's going to be Chris Columbus, who, made the first 2 Harry Potter films, and many other great films. And I think he worked in the creature department, if I'm not mistaken, on the first Gremlins. So it'll be interesting. Get out of here with your subscribe now. Anyway, the next thing is really quick. I just thought it was interesting. The first Avengers Doomsday trailer. The teaser. The teaser will be attached to Avatar Fire and Ash. Now, I know that there's people that don't like Avatar. I get that. I, on the other hand, absolutely love Avatar. I think Avatar is great. It's beautiful world building, and it's James Cameron. His directing style is so great. I love his eye for action. I think his storytelling is really good. And you can say, it's just Dances with Wolves with blue people. Or, it's just Fern Gully with the blah, blah, blah. I get it. I understand. But the fact remains, these are very, very entertaining films. The 3D is absolutely gorgeous. It's the only reason that 3D is still around is because of the Avatar movies, because they're so well done. The depth is so great. It's an amazing experience seeing Avatar 3D in the theater. I love it, and I can't wait to see Fire and Ash. I'm really, really excited. But they're going to be putting Avengers Doomsday trailer, the teaser, in front of Avatar Fire and Ash a whole year before Avengers Doomsday comes out. But think about it. It's kind of a really, really smart thing to do. Because not only are you going to try to come out with a banger teaser trailer that's going to get people salivating and talking about Avengers Doomsday, and they're going to keep up that momentum throughout the whole year. Number one. Number two, there are going to be people that only buy a ticket to Avatar Fire and Ash because this trailer is going to be on it. So it helps the current Disney movie, but it's also setting up for all of this. I mean, there's going to be people breaking this trailer down for months. So just get ready. Next month, it's going to happen. I'm not going to lie. I love Marvel. I always have. I think their movies are great. They're entertaining, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see where they're going to take this. The idea that freaking Robert Downey Jr. is back playing Dr. Doom, that's really interesting. Is he a variant of Tony Stark? Or is Tony Stark a variant of Dr. Doom? It's really, really interesting. What are they going to do? Like what's happening? Is he literally a different character, or is it Tony Stark that went bad? Or is it, hey, if Tony's parents, weren't, well, that's not, if Tony's grandparents, didn't migrate to the US in such and such time, then Tony Stark would have been born over in Latveria. Isn't that the ice cream thing? It's Latvia, isn't it? I don't know what Dr. Doom's home, I almost said whole planet, what Dr. Doom's country is. But what if they never moved from that country, and Tony Stark technically grew up in that country, and he grew up as Dr. Doom instead of being Iron Man. I mean, there's so many interesting things. Like, I don't know what they're going to do. I'm excited. I don't know what to tell you. I'm excited about it. So yeah, that's that. That's happening in just a couple of months. Well, actually, like 1 month. Like in 1 month, we're going to see Avatar Fire and Ash, and we're going to see the freaking new Avengers trailer. I'm excited. So yeah. There you go. Let me get caught up like a Krager got to do that Miss March sequel one day. Not sure what that is. She's becoming the newest face of horror movies. Ooh. Oh, are you talking about what's her face? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. You mean from Ozark? Yeah. Uh you see the new animated Bahubali? It looks freaking cool. I have not yet, but I do want to. Somebody commented, said, "Hey, you need to watch that." I just haven't yet. Craigers is a nickname. That ain't no surname. I'm just waiting for the new Avatar movie. Yes. It says continue without supporting. Yes. Yes. But again, it's so remember the 5th of November. Yes. That was like last week. Oh, that was like last week. Gremlins take over Congress. President Clamp. B for Banderas. But Chris, you're probably already gone. But hey, have a good one, man. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Too political of a movie for me. You know, the other day, I found out there's a Ghoulies 4. Yes. I wish you had a 3TV too. Not really. I mean, honestly, there are some really cool 3D movies, but my 3D TV is now in the bedroom. It's a smaller TV, and it's just I barely ever watch it. Have you ever been in a 4D movie theater? Is that the one that moves you around and stuff? I don't like it. I don't like it. You wouldn't download an advertisement online. Yeah. I hope Batman's in Avengers Doomsday. I don't think that's going to happen. Isn't Latveria the... What am I thinking of? What's the ice cream disease? What am I thinking of? Listeria. Is it Latveria? I don't know. I'm not I don't know all the things. I'm no super smart guy. I wanted to see Back to the Future in 4D, but it was only one day here in New York City, I think. Oh. I'm still collecting 3D movies and a lot from Goodwill, very cheap. You know, the last one that I really wanted to get is that combo pack of Alita Battle Angel or Battle Angel Alita, whatever it is. I think it's Alita Battle Angel, right? 4K, Blu-ray 3D, and yeah. But I never got it. I heard in Back to the Future 4D, they actually send you back in time. It's true. You got to watch out. Miss March was a movie Zach was in after the Whitest Kids You Know show ended. Oh, I didn't know that. There's some promo-only 3D Blu-rays I have on my PC that I would love to experience on a moderate-sized TV just to say I did. Hey, I mean, isn't that what life is all about? Is for you to say, I did that. And people are like, no, you didn't. I'm like, you wanna bet? And they're like, no. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to be over here then. And then you walk away. Don't you feel good? What are we talking about again? I'm confused. But hey, so the show is done. And we zoomed through the news really fast. But there is one last thing. So on the John Campea show today, a question came in. A tip question, which, you know, hey, it would be nice to have so many people that people have to send you tips just to talk to you. But anyway, I'm not jealous. I'm really not. Campea, I mean, look, man, Campea puts on a pretty dang good show every single day. I have to be like, wow, you know? But one of the things that people sent in is they said, hey, how likely is it that Disney puts out a Star Wars original version out in theaters in 2027 to mark the 50th anniversary? What's the percentage? What do you think the percentage is? And John Campea sat there for a second and he went, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but 100%. So, what that means is that he must have some contact with someone at Disney or at Lucasfilm or whatever, and he has been told that they are going to be releasing the Star Wars original version in theaters to mark the 50th anniversary for 2027. Holy crap. Now, my question about the whole thing has always been, but what are the rules? I know that there was a kind of a thing like in the contract that Lucas signed and that Disney signed to say that you wouldn't release the original versions of those movies. Now I'm wondering if that means you can't release them physically. And I'm wondering if they're like, George is getting up there in years. It's pretty much any day now. And when he dies, we're doing it. We're releasing 4K versions of these on disc because they will sell like insanity. Like it will be insane. And they can charge whatever they want and people will buy it. You know that. I know that. But the idea that they're going to go ahead and release a theatrical version on 4K, or I mean, the original version in theaters in 2027 that's cool. And I mean, I kind of expected it, but to hear Campea say that today was kind of cool. So I just wanted to let you guys know. So there you go. The only 4D movie I've ever seen was Ready Player One. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, it was one of the Guardians movies, I think. Was it Guardians 2? Because I saw it with Eric, 8-Bit Eric. Because we were in Houston for Retropalooza. And we were there really early, like the day before. And we're like, they're going to all be busy until like later. Do you want to go see a movie? And I was like, yeah. So we went and saw, I'm pretty sure it was volume 2. Maybe it was volume 3. It might have been volume 3, actually. It was volume 3. We went and saw volume 3 together. And it was was it 4D? I don't remember. I just remember whatever it was. I remember the 4D I was going, this is terrible. I don't like this. I feel things in my balls and I don't like it when I'm watching a movie. So Monsters Backpack. What's up, brother? Talking old tech. I miss picture in picture. You know what? I used to use picture in picture back in the day when my wife and I used to watch football. And so what would happen is I would play a video game while we were watching football. She would still get to watch the game. I could play my game. And then on the commercials, I'd swap them. I could play my game for a bit and then swap it back when the game started. We came back on. So it was fun. I do like it, but it's also weird. Like we have so many screens now. It's like, but I get what you're saying though. That's really cool. Memories of Murder is what got me into Korean films. It's a great Bong Joon-ho movie. Where's my watch list? Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Movies to review. Oh, my God. Dude, it's so ridiculous. And not only that, I just bought movies. But I'm putting it on the list. Memories of Murder. Bong Joon-ho, which I love. I didn't like Mickey 17 though. That was poop. But that was from, who said it? Glenn Harris. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I put it on the list. 100% Disney loves money. I mean, you're right. But are we getting episode 4 showing or the entire trilogy? I think I said trilogy and I didn't mean that. I think it's just the 50th anniversary of the original Star Wars film. You know, which if it really is, I'm wondering if it will not have episode 4 A New Hope and it will just start with a crawl after it's Star Wars. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. But we'll see. It's Shake and Bake and I helped. No, you didn't. Want to bet? I have the OG Star Wars trilogy bootleg 4K. Yeah, I have The, was it 4K 77? Yeah, I have that too. Thanks for streaming. See you next time. Be well, my friend Johnny. Thank you again for the support. Seriously, it means a lot. Thank you so much. I heard Topher Grace's Star Wars prequel cut is epic. Yes. And I've never seen it, and I don't know if it's available anywhere, because there's plenty of fan edit. There's fan edit sites, but you can't technically host them. And so a lot of times the links just kind of get shared in places, but I don't know if it's ever available. This is why Wii U was invented. I have never seen it, Glenn. I've never seen it. That's why I put it on the list. Parasite is one of my favorite movies. Parasite was really good. For me, that's a one watcher. But that's another one where it's like, I kind of want to buy it physically just so I can watch the special features. Because I'm a nerd. But hey, it's way past, and it's time to jump into the Discord. So come on in, guys. I'm pulling it up right now. Holy crap, it's downloading an update, which will take forever. It won't take forever. It'll just take a bit. And now it's got to install the update. Okay, come on. I don't understand why Discord has so many freaking updates. Why? Please just do the thing. Can we please? Can we just do the thing? Now it's downloading updates 1 through 8. But anyway, hey, look, guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I had a great time. I hope you did too. As far as I know, next Tuesday. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I'm going to go see The Running Man this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to have time, but if I do, it'll be there and you can watch a thing, or maybe I'll do something else. I don't know. I just don't know, man. Things are still so, yeah. There's just so much going on, you know. But yeah. I hope you guys have a great night, and if you want, come join me in the Discord, and we'll chat some more, or you'll chat some more, because it really should be, that's the way it is, that you guys start talking. But yeah, I'm gonna jump in there, but then I'm gonna go pee. So cool. All right. But hey, the rest of you guys, hey, have a great one, and we'll see you next time. Bye.